Hey, everybody, welcome to Houston, Texas, the site of UFC 262. Coming up tomorrow, this is the weigh-in show, and we are going to walk you through what to expect tomorrow. Weigh-in's coming up here in just a couple of minutes at the Fighter Hotel. We are situated at the Convention Center. Here's a live look at the scale at the Fighter Hotel, just about 10 minutes away from fighter weigh-ins beginning. We have a long list of fighters, including Charles Oliveira, already ready to weigh in. Welcome inside the Convention Center, everybody, ready to get things going here. Laura Sanko, my longtime partner. Dean Thomas, UFC pioneer and party promoter these days. He's all over the place. And there we have champ, and current champ of the UFC weigh-in show. He is
Give it to me.
Daniel Cormier.
Say it again.
Champ, and current champ, Daniel Cormier.
That's what I'm talking about.
I've never seen him more excited about a fake title in my life. It's unbelievable.
I mean, this ain't a fake title. Because
That's a good
every time I get to show dominance, I love it. And that's what I do at this set. Over all three of you, bow down and pay homage to the man like Ric Flair.
Why are you trying to get her all heated up right from the jump?
Hey, Laura, remember what they told you. Remember what they told you.
I
You better
literally
calm
had
down.
a talking to
You
from
better
the
calm
producers.
down, Laura. You better
need
calm
to tone
down.
down your competitiveness, Sanko. But listen, I saw how excited you are about that barbecue over there.
Oh, yeah.
That belt's going away. You're too focused on that stuff over there.
that might
That
be a
goodness over there.
Have you ever seen anybody more obnoxiously competitive than DC?
He's
the most.
Wait, stop.
I haven't.
But I didn't get the talking to. Laura did. If I'm so competitive, why did Laura get in trouble for bullying me?
Because they wanted to make it easier.
That's a good point.
You need
That
to
is a
tone it
good
down,
point.
take it easier on DC. We got to let him win,
No. They just know how. It's like when you're as, sensitive as I am and as, gentle and nice, it comes off as bullying with you attacking me so much.
I thought you were going to say husky. That was the
I am a tad, my genes are a tad bit husky at times. You know what I'm saying? I'm by husky genes.
So if you've never watched the show
And that's
before,
what I'm talking about right there. And that's
I think,
what I'm talking about.
I think you get a
Laura.
gist of what
That
we're going to be
Laura
going
is
through
what we're
today.
doing.
We're having a lot of fun. We're walking you through the weigh-ins, and we're going to be eating a little barbecue as well. Mike and Nick from Pinkerton's Barbecue here in Houston are preparing our early morning snack as we speak. How yummy does that look?
Look at how it moves, though. Look at how it moves. I mean, that is a good brisket. When it moves,
That jiggle when it
bounces,
dropped.
jiggles.
Oh my
when he
gosh.
dropped it low, when he dropped it low and it bounced like that, that's a good thing, dude. When he dropped it low like that and it starts to move.
Yeah, I saw that.
That brisket's got some bounce.
I know,
He got some bounce.
Dean, I know this is your second show with us, but pro tip, get in line before DC for the barbecue.
I know, yeah.
Okay?
I've already known that. I knew that because I know ain't gonna be nothing left after
Hey,
that.
so here's the thing, I would never eat on live television, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, too good for that.
Oh, we might have to see what we're going to do.
Okay,
about
maybe
that
I
today.
will.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at what we have coming up on Saturday. What a great fight card it is for UFC 252. Look at these names on this list. Christian Yagos, I didn't tell you guys this yet, but kickboxing instructor for me in the LA area.
Really?
Yeah.
You about to throw those handstands?
Yeah, I'm just saying he's a good teacher. He's a good teacher. Jamie Pickett, also a name that is familiar to those who watch the Contender Series. The Angel of Death. Is there a better nickname taken on Tucker Lutz as well? Lando Venata, Mike Grundy, and then Andre Muniz and Jacare Sosa as well. As we take a look at the main card, the first fight of the night, going to be a good one. Shane Burgos and Edson Barbosa. And this is what we were talking about earlier. Weigh-ins coming up in just a few minutes. And we have 12 guys already ready to weigh in, including Charles Oliveira. Not there just yet. Michael Chandler, Beneil Dariush, and Tony Ferguson. Caitlin Chukagian, Andrea Lee are having tough weight cuts, so they're going to be behind the curtain today. That's some of the inside information that we wanted to give you because this is a weigh-in show, of course. All right, let's bring in the voice of the UFC. John Anik is with us now, and John, of course, we are going to have a champion crowned. I would say, 6-8 months ago, this is not the title fight that we anticipated, though.
Well, I think that's fair to say. Michael Chandler for a long time was on the outside of the UFC looking in. So it's wild that this is the vacant undisputed lightweight championship matchup that came together. But to me, the big story of this is Charles Oliveira, right? The guy made his UFC debut when he was 20 years old in 2010. And for most of us who have covered his entire UFC career, For him to break through potentially in Houston, his sort of adopted American hometown, and become an undisputed UFC lightweight champion would be an incredible story of career resurgence, and anyone who knows what he was going through as a kid, it's incredible. So obviously there's a Chandler side of this too, but I think a lot of us who have followed Charles's career are very excited that he's getting this opportunity in Houston.
And the co-main event pairs a couple of guys kind of trending in different directions right now. You have Beneil Dariush coming off 6 straight wins. Tony Ferguson for the first time in his career coming off 2 losses in a row. What kind of information have you been able to glean from these 2 guys in your conversations yesterday?
Well, I thought Tony was in a great place, but you got to be careful not to read too much into what is coming out of Tony Ferguson's mouth. I mean, certainly there are things that you can try to hang on in terms of things he has changed defensively. Clearly, bringing in Freddie Roach in some way, shape, or form was to try to shore up some of his boxing defense and get hit less. But we still are sitting here right now, and we're not certain that Freddie Roach is even going to be in his corner. So I don't lean too heavily into that, but certainly it's a tale of 2 Tonys when it comes to our fighter meeting several months ago for the Charles Oliveira fight compared to where he was right now. And Beneil Dariush, all the rage at 155 pounds, rightfully so, long winning streak in tow, and he's sort of carrying himself like he knows something that we don't. So we'll see if he can get it done. You know, he's favored to get the job done. We'll see if he can do it.
Yeah, the glow of an expectant father for Beneil as well.
Yeah.
Okay, outside of the main event and the co-main event, is there another fighter or fight that you've really been eyeballing?
Well, I'm excited that Rogerio Bontorin and Matt Schnell are getting the pay-per-view opportunity, but I think the card that the fight that jumps off the card for all of us is Edson Barboza and Shane Burgos. And it seems like all the sharps and all the cappers and fighters are picking Edson Barboza, and yet he's the underdog as we sit here right now. So perhaps it's public money, I don't know, but people are betting that fight both ways, and obviously it's properly slotted to kick off our pay-per-view. So we're excited, man. We're excited.
John Anik, this is your boy, your broadcast partner, your friend,
That's right.
Daniel Cormier. And in wrestling, there is such a thing called a cheap pop, right? You yell the town that you're in order to get cheered. And I see you, a Boston Red Sox fan, wearing an Astros shirt. I mean, is there no shame, John Anik? Is there no shame?
This is just a nod to Carlos Correa, the shortstop.
Okay,
I mean, I went to the ball game last night. I was rooting for the Texas Rangers, right? I mean, I was there to support Carlos. I'm wearing this shirt to support him, and thank you for putting it on the radar of my fellow Red Sox fans who will be after me on social media later. Thanks,
absolutely. Jim. Red Sox Nation, stand up and kick Anik out, because you guys don't. I mean, he's wearing this Astros shirt. Yeah. Hey, everybody, welcome to Houston, you know how that happens. Houston, and everybody cheers you. That's how it goes. Cheap pop, Anik.
Well, you are the consummate front runner, though, right? Aren't you a Houston Astros fan, right?
Hey, that is kind of my team, but I mean, did they win? Did they win last year?
You're a cheating fool, bro. I mean, you got that belt. I can't even look at you with that belt on right now.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Let's not revisit that
I appreciate the Astros shirt. Carlos Correa coming up on the show, so I appreciate that you're a big fan of Carlos, as am I, and you were at the game last night. But I do have to ask you this before we let you go. Is there any truth to the rumor that you've told Zach Candido and the producers that you refuse to judge any of our contests because your judging was essentially thrown out on the last one?
I mean, clearly I don't wield much power when it comes to judging contests on this program, because Daniel Cormier is the champion all of a sudden. You guys open the show, he's got a goddamn belt on his waist. So, no, I will not be judging anything. And Charles Oliveira is about to get on the scale, so I'm going to let you guys go. But we're excited to be here, and I'm just hoping by the end of your fine broadcast that belt's on Dean Thomas or Helly or something.
Oh,
yes, John, that's why we get along, John.
Anik, my brother, hey, thank you for joining us. But Anik, listen, I was crowned champion by you also. My man.
All right. Fans love you, champ. Fans love you.
Anik, you are the best. All right, Michael Chandler is now ready to weigh in as well in just a few minutes. So we're talking 12, 13 fighters who are ready to go. We'll be talking to Michael Chandler. We'll be talking to Beneil Dariush, Shane Burgos, and Carlos Correa, as I mentioned, World Series champ, all-star shortstop for the Houston Astros. Man. And, by the way, the man has his own MMA podcast.
He's a massive UFC fan.
Dude, he's
and an educated fan, too.
Yeah. Educated, nice guy. Dude, my son plays baseball now. Sent me some drills that I can actually use to help him field the ball.
Oh, that's
He's
cool.
just fantastic, man. Great guy.
He does a little mixed martial arts training here in Houston as well. All right, let's talk about this main event for a second. Charles Oliveira, I mean, he's one of the hottest fighters going right now. 8-fight win streak, 7 finishes. What have you been seeing from him the last few fights, DC?
There's been a number of things that have changed in Charles Oliveira. For a while, he was a bit of a front runner, right? He was a bit of a bully. If things went sideways, Charles Oliveira would follow those things into the loss department. Now he's found a way to correct the ship. If he's dealt adversity, he has now matured to a point where he can deal with it and continue to win fights. Now, has he dealt with a ton over the course of this win streak? No. But he has learned to manage his emotion, and that's what happens when a guy gets here at 20 years old. You know, he made his debut on Fuel TV, I believe. I don't think it's even a channel anymore. You know, the guy has been here forever as a young man, and now you see the full product that is complete in Charles Oliveira.
You know what else I think is that his ability to finish fights everywhere has increased. Like before, he was just kind of a submission ace, but now you see him knocking people out, and he's dangerous everywhere. I mean, he's got a good right hand, and you got to be careful when he's starting to throw knees because he's a taller guy, and he uses his range so well to forces guys to come in, then he starts kneeing them in the face.
And here we have Charles Oliveira, the first to weigh in here. So we're going to have a title fight answer here shortly as Michael Chandler's going to be following him. Let's listen in.
$155, the official weight for Charles Oliveira.
You look at Charles
With the
Oliveira
shades.
and think about the fact he used to fight 45.
It's crazy.
I mean, he looks like he sucks weight to get down to 55. We saw him on Thursday, and I said, wow, you look slim already. And he was like, I'm close. But, I mean, this guy used to make it all the way down to featherweight.
He was so young when he started, though.
Yeah.
He was so young. He's got his man body now. He's 31 years old, and that makes a big difference.
Yes.
Yeah, and he grew up in this organization. I actually coached against him. I was with Nick Lentz when he fought Charles Oliveira in Brazil, and he was just such a young guy then. Now he's so much more mature now, so much more intelligent.
And here we have Chandler coming up here. So we're going to have, we're going to know right away if both these guys make the weight.
$155, the official weight for Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler fighting out of Sanford MMA in Deerfield Beach, Florida by way of Nashville, Tennessee. And I just want to give a huge thank you to all my fans and the people who have followed me over this long journey. Tomorrow night, we stake our claim as the #1 lightweight in the world by becoming the UFC champion. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I'll see you at the top.
So the title fight is on. Both Oliveira and Chandler make weight. That we do know. So there's going to be no drama in this 2-hour show in terms of that. So that's good news for us.
A lot of times you're waiting on these title fights, man, for it to happen that quickly. Insane. And good to know that it's going to happen right away. And here comes Mike Grundy. And I got my notes on my phone here from Mike Grundy. Look.
I am Mike Grundy, and I fight out of Team Carbon in Liverpool and DC. I know you're great wrestling. I've been a fan of your wrestling all my career. And tomorrow I'll be looking to put on a great clinic.
That's what I was about to say about Mike Grundy, a guy that's wrestled his entire life. The striking didn't necessarily come naturally, but he said he feels good now in that area, and he's better at mixing everything, where he's not just wrestling or striking. He's able to do them both at the same time now. And look, this is a young man that was on an Olympic path to wrestling. So if he can implement his wrestling in the fight and control the grappling, Mike Grundy is a savage.
He's at the perfect camp to be doing that, too, to be adding the striking aspect to his team. Team Kaibon there, Darren Till, all those guys. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, I think they're bringing out the curtain.
Yeah, he didn't make it, so I think they're running it out there. I mean, he said he's been experimenting with different stuff, started switching stances a lot more. Used to be strictly an orthodox fighter.
It's when you come out early and they have to pull this thing, it makes you so nervous because something told you that you were close enough to wait, right?
Right,
That
yeah,
you come
like
so early, like so that check scale might be a little different.
What was he over? Do you know?
We're gonna see here. Oh, he's on.
Yeah, if it's .2, he's good.
146, the official weight
There you go.
for Mike
Because like they do the
Grundy.
check scale, like at the hotel, and then right when you get here, it's almost wondering like, why would you come here so early if you were off? He had to be on.
Yeah, he was very close in order to show up this early for the weigh-ins, and it was the underwear. The underwear.
The underwear is
over. Yep.
.2.
The underwear at .2.
Now we know. This is only the third time that he's fought since 2017. Should that be a concern?
you know, man, when you have that type of style, though, right? He's wrestled his whole life, and he wants to implement that type of game plan. It's going to be a matter of whether or not he can get it started early. If he fails on the first few takedown attempts, then all that may start to show itself, because then it's unfamiliar standing in the fight. But if he can get takedowns, I think he'll be fine.
But like DC said, like, this guy was on the Olympic path. So, like, when you're at that level of any type of competitiveness, like, competition is just easy for you.
And here's Christos Giagos, former RFA lightweight champ. Your boy.
And your striking coach?
My kickboxing instructor.
I mean, I wish the camera was on you when you just did that action. I mean, oh my God, did you see that?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just don't do that again, dude.
156, the official weight for Mr. Giagos.
156, so he makes weight. Congratulations to Christos.
I'm excited to see him. He's got a completely new camp this time out.
Yeah.
He's been training with Chad George exclusively for this camp, and I feel like if Christos can get his gas tank figured out, he's going to be hell on wheels for anybody.
He's won 3 of his last 4, his second stint in the UFC for Giagos.
Christos Giagos.
Prelim live on ESPN in the middleweight division.
I can't even see you right now.
There may or may not be a soccer mom or two in my class. Just saying. But he's a great teacher.
I know, but you didn't have to, like, flex, man. You know what I mean? Like, why did you flex?
He was warming up his shoulders. He was warming up his shoulders over here. Getting ready.
Andrew Muniz, yeah. He had 2 stints on the Dana White Contender Series, one in Brazil, one here in the States. He won both of them, which got him his shot here. He beat Taylor Johnson. He's a submissions ace. He's a submission expert. He got 13 first-round finishes. I mean, his jiu-jitsu game, he's a decorated jiu-jitsu player. His jiu-jitsu game is nasty.
The official weight for Andre Muniz.
All right, so Muniz good to go. 2 times on the Contender Series. Got a contract after subbing Taylor Johnson in just over a minute and a half.
All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's featherweight division, he is Kevin Aguilar.
Which, by the way, is this not the best nickname?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
It really is.
The Angel of Death.
I don't always say all the nicknames all the time, but the Angel of Death is great. What's wrong, DC?
The guy in Jacksonville. I don't know. The guy in Jacksonville had a great nickname too, though. They didn't know if Bruce was even going to say it because his nickname was so out of there. I mean, what was it? Was a guy from China. It was a guy from Mongolia or something.
Oh,
the Mongolian murderer.
Oh, yeah.
Mongolian murderer.
That was right up there.
That is an excellent one.
Yeah, you know, we didn't even know if they could say it.
Kevin Aguilar, though, he's another Contender Series guy. You know, he looked great his couple first fights in the UFC. He's hit a little bit of a rough patch, but
145, the official
going back
weight for
down to
Kevin
featherweight.
Aguilar.
He fought, Charles Rosa at lightweight, going back down to featherweight. This is definitely his class, and I mean, this is a guy who went toe-to-toe with Danny Gay. Didn't end up winning that fight, but looked excellent. And I expect good stuff from him on Saturday for sure.
Debut tomorrow night.
I love his commitment to
even.
body punching. I love his commitment to really digging the body. That's something not many people do in mixed martial arts, or make it a focus. Aguilar does that.
And Aguilar's one of those rare guys who went on the Contender Series and didn't get a contract from the Contender Series, but then he still gets his UFC opportunity. All right, here's Matt Schnell going to the scale.
What's up, everybody? Matt Danger Schnell here, fighting out of Fortis MMA. Wanted to give a quick shout out to DC, Daniel Cormier. Let him know I'm the next Louisiana champ. Tell him, DC.
Yeah, that's my boy Matt Schnell right there. He spent time in AKA. You know his approach, 136 pounds for Matt. He's fighting up at 135, even though him and his opponent are both ranked at 125. But listen, Matt Schnell is a guy that nothing was given to him. And he has this attitude that he will find the training wherever it is, right? So he's been to AKA, he's been to CSA. Now he's down at Fortis. He goes and understands that he's his own business, and he has to make sure that his business is taken care of. So he goes and finds the best situation for that.
I've worked with him extensively at Top Team for months. I cornered him in one of his fights.
Oh, we've got Antonina Shevchenko about to weigh in here. You know, it would be hard to live in, I don't want to say live in the shadow, because she is her own fighter, but to have, Valentina Shevchenko as your sister and the perfection that she's had inside the octagon. But, Antonina really, I feel like in her last fight, showed exactly what she is capable of doing. That last win over Ariane Lipski really showed what a complete fighter she can be, not just this, 11-time Muay Thai world champion. Let's see what she's got here.
125, the official weight for Antonina Shevchenko.
And you could just tell the look on her face when she got that last win, that meant so incredibly much to her.
All right, next fighter to the scale, one half
I'm excited
of
to
the
see what she does on
co-main
Saturday.
event. This
Yeah,
man,
and she's
one
one of those
the most
fighters who has
accomplished lightweights
alternated
in UFC
wins and
history, the
losses.
former
Yeah, she's looking
UFC
for momentum for sure, but man,
champion,
you get the sense that with that
Ferguson.
last performance, she's really starting to put it all together.
Yeah, it's starting to turn.
Sometimes you just need that one little piece.
And here comes Tony Ferguson. Boy, was he active at the press conference, wasn't he?
He's always active. He's
Hey, yeah, quote a minute.
Hey, Tony Ferguson is the man. But like, the one thing about Tony is when you are a veteran like Tony Ferguson, the guy that was the interim champion, fought for the interim championship another time, won 12 fights in a row. When things start to go sideways, you have to reevaluate. I didn't know if Tony had that ability, right? Because he's so strong-willed, but he did. He let his pride go.
$156, the official weight for Tony Ferguson.
156 for El Kukui, but like I said, let go of the pride and just handed it over, right? He's got a massive new team around him, and some of his old coaches even called up to Team Lesnar from The Ultimate Fighter, just trying to find answers to get back to who he was, to get on that win streak that he was on.
When he says Olympic mentality, what do you think he means by that?
All right, next fighter to the scale, 11th
like
ranked
Dean
in the
said,
UFC
it's just a different
flyweight
level
division,
of thinking. When you've competed
Andrea
at that
Lee.
level, man, it's second to none.
I had to ask the Olympian what that would feel like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I'm giving you some props. They told me to be less competitive, so I'm throwing you some bones over there, DC.
And that Olympic level is for real. Like it's a real thing. Like you can't compare it to anything else.
Curtain coming out now for Andrea Lee, KGB, the 32-year-old. Since coming over to the UFC from LFA, she won her first 3, lost her last 3 fights. All really competitive decisions, though.
Very, very close fights. And Andrea understands where she is in her career, right? She knows that she can't take a loss, but also understands that the Shevchenko fight is a big fight for her, right? She gets a massive opportunity. And this is a young lady that was almost discouraged from some of her workmates working at B-Dubs, telling her that she did not
126, the official weight for Andrea KGB Lee.
She weighs 126 pounds, so she's on. We heard before that she was going to have trouble, but people tried to discourage her from this career. And now she has fought some of the best fighters in the world and gets another opportunity in a massive spot on a pay-per-view to fight the champion's sister, right? And try to end that losing.
That's going to be a striker's delight. I mean, both those girls can grapple for sure, but both of them have that Muay Thai base. They're going to be throwing hands the whole time.
But Laura, if you're smart, you're taking Antonina Shevchenko down, right? You're not going to stand with her.
For sure. You're taking her down for sure. And she's a pretty decorated grappler, too.
She is.
She's a really good grappler.
And for Andrea Lee, fighting in her home state, too. That's always a little extra juice there, right?
She said that she went and fought in Lafayette, Louisiana, and they booed her because she's not from Louisiana, right? She fought in the same organization that Dustin Poirier and those people used to fight in back down there. I can't remember the name of the organization.
She's got roots in Louisiana.
Yeah, she does. She does. But she got booed so bad, and she will get the cheers down in Texas tomorrow.
She wears that hat out, she'll have no problem.
Yeah, for sure.
And here comes
Gina
Mazzani. Danger.
My girl Gina, I tell you what, it has been so awesome to have her in Kansas City. Tim Elliott basically went to Vegas. They got connected, and when they came back to Kansas City, I mean, she has been such an addition to the Glory MMA and
126, the
Fitness
official
team.
weight for Gina Mazzani.
On weight, and I'm telling you what, guys, that woman is so crazy lean. She has been so disciplined this entire camp. She's got James Gallagher as one of her main training partners, amazing fighter in another organization. I'm expecting big stuff from her. Krause has really added to her game.
And dropping to 125 has been great for her.
Oh, it's insane. And she's a big girl for 125.
She looks strong, man. Massive.
I heard she's got good dad jokes.
She's got great dad jokes.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard she's got great dad jokes.
So let's not have her over
and she's
here.
An artist, too. She's an artist, too, Dean.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, graphic designer. Right?
Yep.
There's Jacare Souza stepping on the scale, DC.
Just longtime veteran, man. Guy that's as credentialed a grappler as anyone in mixed martial arts. After the Kevin Holland fight, you got to start to reevaluate.
The official weight, 186 pounds for Jacare Souza.
Jacare intends to do that. Jacare is a guy that has fought the elite of the elite and has hung around the top of the division for so long. But as with all champions, right, we all have our time. And it seems like Jacare now needs to live in these moments because it seems as though there's only a few left, right? And you take them for granted until they're all gone. And Jacare, as he gets to the tail end, is just kind of living in these moments.
Yeah, at 41 years old, just 2-5 in his last 7 fights. And here is Caitlin Chookagian.
My name's Caitlin Chookagian. I'm fighting out of Amity Harbor, New York. Want to give a shout out to Dean Thomas. Hopefully after I get this win, maybe we could do some stand-up comedy together again.
I'm so happy somebody shouted out somebody other than DC.
Yeah, ain't that
good job, Caitlin.
Well, me and her, we did stand-up comedy in New York City during UFC 205 when they first hit, and she's so funny. Yeah, she's so funny. So she's great, and I love her to death. But she also trains with one of my favorite coaches in all of martial arts. That's John Danaher, who is an absolute wizard on the ground. I think he revolutionized jiu-jitsu. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she brings to the table in terms of jiu-jitsu. And I mean, she's just been in that New York scene for so long and just cutting her teeth. And I mean, she's an incredibly skilled fighter. She's dynamic. She's a Golden Gloves champion in Pennsylvania. And I'm looking forward to seeing what she brings to the table. Uh-oh.
Here comes the curtain, I believe.
But I mean, this was told to us before, Dan.
Yeah.
You said this at the top of the show that Caitlin was having trouble, Andrew was having trouble, so you kind of expected the curtain, and let's see if
she weighed in without it, though, that means she knows she's close.
She knows that she's close. Yeah, for sure.
She's had an active 2020 fighting 4 times. That's
for sure. But I mean, here's the issue with that, right? You go from fighting for a championship, and then you have that performance against Antonina, and then you lose a fight, right, on Fight Island, and then you lose. I mean, it's just so many factors that go into fighting that actively, especially if you're not winning all of them.
126, the official weight for Caitlin Chookagian.
You're right, though, Laura. You got to be close if you're going to go try it without it.
And she does such a good job. She really fights her fight when she believes in her wrestling. I feel like she's got the jiu-jitsu skills. She's so good at fighting from the outside, staying long. She's very tall for the division. But it's when you see her go out there and really believe in her ability to get it to the canvas, that's when she has those fantastic performances.
That Shevchenko fight, when she grappled her to death, I was like, wow, we've never seen that version of Caitlin Chookagian, because normally she's on the outside, she's moving.
Yeah, moving. She's pop, pop, pop.
Oh, she was tripping. She was doing a nasty job getting the fight where she wanted it.
Yeah, you got to expect with her height, it's got to be tough for her to make this weight.
But she did it.
Yeah, she did it.
So everybody's made weight so far. And we
All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in the featherweight division here tomorrow night, Groovy Lando Venata.
Yeah, I asked Groovy, I said, man, what do you want me to tell the people? He said, man, I don't care, whatever gets the ratings. and that describes his fighting style when you think about it. I mean, this guy, he's unpredictable, he's creative, and it seems like he likes to fight more for the public than he actually cares about winning. And that's the type of guy that the fans want to see. I mean, he's definitely a fan favorite.
The official weight, 146 pounds for Lando Venata.
But even down at
he's been that way since the beginning, right?
Yeah.
He started his career with that fight of the night against Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, he was the first guy to show that Tony Ferguson was human. Yeah, he dropped him.
You know what's crazy about Lando?
Next fighter to the scale, back in the UFC for the first time in a long time in the UFC's
He's not only making changes to his weight, he's also making some mental changes, and he said that they're going to be on full display tomorrow night.
He's getting a little bit more sophisticated with how he approaches things.
Focus, it's not going to be as fun, which is crazy.
Here's Sean Soriano. He's going to be a part of our first fight of the night against Christian Yagos.
Yeah, I spoke to him, and he said he had such an up-and-down journey. It took him 5 years to get to the UFC, and then he got out, and then it took him 6 years to get back. He's so excited to be back. And everybody at his team, they just say he's the best teammate. He serves as the leader at Sanford MMA. He's Henry Hoof's assistant, and he said his kickboxing skills are ridiculous.
All right,
he's
next
so
fighter
technical.
to the scale. Prelim, you can see
Soriano
live on
again
ESPN
taking on
in the
Christos
UFC's middleweight division,
Yagos.
Jamie
Said he loves
Pickett.
the fact that Chandler's headlining this card, being a teammate.
Yeah.
And they're both being able to fight on the same card. That's pretty cool.
I think anytime you can fight on the same card as someone who's in the main event, you pick up on that energy going into it. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, Jamie Pickett. So I had a conversation with him for 15 minutes in a parking lot until I realized that's not Khalil Roundtree.
Oh. Can I tell you something?
I said, that's not Khalil Roundtree. That's Jamie Pickett. Yes. DC, you've done that before, too?
186 pounds, the official weight for Jamie Pickett.
Yes.
I did it.
He had 3 stints on the Contender Series.
Goodness.
Then he mugged Jonathan Petty and just punched his ticket into the UFC with a 20-piece combination.
His hair's different. If it makes you feel better, his hair is different. It threw me off too.
Yeah, I said, man, if that ain't Khalil Roundtree.
I didn't think he was Khalil Roundtree, but I didn't recognize him.
That's us getting older.
I didn't think he was Khalil Roundtree.
As we get older, that happens, man.
We got Jordan Wright, man. And listen, Jordan Wright coming off the very first defeat of his career, but it's so cool to hear him talk about it because his mentality about that loss is the best mentality you can have, and you can tell he's genuine about it.
185 pounds for
Jordan Wright. Like, geez, I mean, come on.
Happy
man.
to be here too. Look at that smile.
I think that's the thing, right? It's his face, right? It's his face. Like, you look at Jordan Wright and you go, this dude fights. Like, it's his face. He's kind of got a weird face. Like, he's smiling. He's happy.
Don't say it's weird.
I'm just being honest. Like, but he's ripped.
He's the Beverly Hills Ninja,
dude.
That's kind of, maybe that's what it is.
Our next athlete to the scale in the UFC women's flyweight
It's got a
division,
little bit of a
Priscilla
different face.
Cachoeira.
He does have a
All right, we got the box coming out again.
Now that's right. That tells you Priscilla's a little further away if she puts the box out to start the weigh-in opposed to waiting until
Either that or she's just smarter. She wants to, make it, get it over with, and let's go.
No.
No.
You don't want that box. You don't want that box,
You don't
Dan.
want to pull that box out there, Dan. It's not a great visual.
That's the box of shame, if we're being honest.
Just trying to be glasses half full guy.
Yeah, you know what? You are, Dan. You bring sunlight to the room.
It's positivity,
yeah, you
DC.
Are.
That's what my wife always tells me. Not.
She's over. She's gonna still be over, guys.
DC knows that
The
look.
official weight, 126 for Priscilla
It looks like it's
Cachoeira.
touching the top of me. That's good, Priscilla. Good job.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was right there. That was like right there.
Space. Maybe there's some space that I didn't see. I can't see from here, but Priscilla, go ahead.
You are an expert at reading that scale.
Oh my goodness! Here,
just wiggle in.
Careful.
Wiggle in.
Careful, Laura. Careful. Careful, Laura.
I'm going to go down this road as many times as I possibly can.
You know what the people are going to do to you? They don't like when you pick on me.
He's so dumb.
Sure don't.
He's like
I'm like everybody's uncle. I'm like Uncle DC. Leave him alone, you know?
After Shane Burgos weighs in, by the way, we're going to be joined by Michael Chandler. Just his second UFC fight, of course. And fighting for a championship.
Yeah,
looking forward to chatting with him.
Michael Chandler, they said
next
he got
fighter to
that
the
Dana
scale of
White
the UFC
privilege. You heard that?
Dana White.
Line of the year. Line of the year.
That was pretty funny.
That had Dana White
and by the way,
cracking
I love the way Chandler just took it in stride.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dana.
Yeah.
That Dana White privilege. Tony Ferguson's out of his mind, man.
Here's Tucker Lutz making his UFC debut.
Yeah, Tucker Lutz, man, let me tell you something. I was talking to him earlier in the weekend. He spoke about visualization, and he does it so much. And he said that it allows him to get to where he is today, from a fantastic amateur record to a great pro record. A young man that wrestles, has a small team that's built around him, and he says a lot of guys that are going to explode onto the scene very quickly. And you don't know him today, but he goes, that is how those little teams become big, right? Because they have a rush of guys that are ready, and when one guy gets in, they all kind of follow, and he feels like that's what's going to happen for him.
Yeah, Team Ground Control in Baltimore. He said they're really up-and-comers here. Here's Shane Burgos.
The official weight,
coming up here in just a moment.
I'm Hurricane Shane Burgos, fighting out of Team Tiger Showman at Elmwood Park, New Jersey.
He said he learned a lot from his fight with Josh Evans. Said he learned that he needs to focus more on the game plan and not so much about being entertaining.
Sunday or something crazy like that.
Go ahead, Dean.
Oh, he said he learned. He said he was trying to be too entertaining in that fight. Now, granted, he did get the fight of the night bonus, but he said he still lost the fight. So he learned so much in that fight from Josh Emmett, just to stick to the game plan, keep moving, and that's to move forward. And he's going to utilize that against Edson Barboza, because I think that's what he knows that Edson Barboza's kind of his kryptonite is, when guys put pressure on him, and he does that so well.
And here's what's coming up here in just a few moments. Still waiting on Beneil Dariush. Rogerio Bontorin.
Viviani
Araujo
and Edson Barbosa yet to come here. And we have Michael Chandler joining us live, of course, fighting for his first title in the UFC, coming over from Bellator. You said you were going to come over and knock the door down here, but everything lined up kind of perfectly, maybe even a little quicker than you expected, Michael?
It was definitely a little bit quicker, but at this point, expect the unexpected. You know, I didn't come over to the UFC wanting to tiptoe around the top 10. I wanted to come in, make a statement right away, kick down the door right away, and I think I'm just the beneficiary of some interesting circumstances. Could be retiring, Poirier and Conor being tied up in the trilogy. But here we are, got the title shot. I wasn't going to say no when I got the phone call. Hunter Campbell didn't even finish his sentence before I said yes. Here we are 8 weeks later. I'm about to capture gold.
So Oliveira, obviously a challenging opponent. He's so dangerous in the sub game. How do you prepare for that leading up to this fight?
Honestly, I just prepare the same way that I prepared over the last 28 fights. I'm 29-0 in weigh-ins right now. 28 fights is my 28th fight. But at this point, my wrestling is very much anti-jiu-jitsu. I've been training ground game since the very beginning. I thwart a lot of attacks for all high-level black belts. I've never been submitted in all those fights. So I just do the exact same thing I've done over the last 13 years as a competitor. Show up, put my best foot forward, get in his face, make him feel my pressure, my presence, and then my power. Get the finish, get my hand raised, get a gold belt like DC has around his waist right now.
Oh, that belt's going away, by the way, Michael. That belt's heading to me. But, Michael, we have all these fancy stats on Charles Oliveira because he's been in the UFC for such a long time, breaking all these records. But for people who maybe haven't followed your amazing career previous to being in the UFC, what do you bring to the table that Charles hasn't seen yet?
Man, I just believe I bring entertainment no matter what. Win, lose, or draw, I'm in entertaining fights. I've become more of a veteran. I've become more of a devastating striker. If I put my hands on you, you're most likely going out. I can push for 25 minutes because not only have I won multiple world titles outside the UFC, but I've fought 25 minutes and trained for 25-minute wars a dozen times. Charles Oliveira hasn't done that. I'm not saying he can't do that. I do believe we're going to see the best Charles Oliveira we ever have seen on Saturday night. That's the Charles Oliveira that I've planned for, but I can push for 25 minutes if I need to. And my resume speaks for itself. I'm excited to go out there and compete.
Mike, first off, thank you for doing that Dean Diaries with me. Now, you came up under Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren, wrestling with both of them at Missouri. What can you take away? What did they teach you about this process? And they were champions in their respective fields, so did you learn anything from them?
Yeah, man, honestly, I learned everything from them in the very beginning. They were the reason I got into the sport. They're still like my big brothers. You know, I'm the oldest of three, but if I had to call someone my big brother, it's Tyron Woodley, Ben Askren. Tyron Woodley first spearheaded the whole me, Ben, and Tyron getting into mixed martial arts. Tyron started going on to AT&T, training with you and Eve Edwards and that kind of, and those guys down there. So he kind of laid the foundation. He got me my first 3 fights. So I kind of owe a lot of my success, a lot of my beginnings to those 2 guys, and also just those guys made me believe in myself when I didn't. I was a small guy from a small town who walked onto the University of Missouri, the lowest guy on the totem pole, didn't get any attention except from an older upperclassman named Tyron Woodley and an older upperclassman named Ben Askren. And they said, this guy, he's not that good, but we can take him under our wing. We can turn him into something. And I'm the champion, the man, and I believe the world champion, the UFC champion on Saturday night because of men like Tyron, men like Ben coming into my life.
Chandler, listen, I'm going to offer you something that nobody else up here. Take a sip, Chandler. I understand. Take a sip, baby. I hear your voice. I hear the raspiness, Chandler. I understand you needing to rehydrate. Take a sip, my brother.
I'm just making sure. I was wondering if you saw the snowflakes that were coming at the camera.
Hey, Chandler, take a sip, my guy. Take a sip. You're on the verge of something spectacular. Tell me right now, when you visualize this thing, because we all do, what does tomorrow night feel like, Chandler, not only for you, but for your family and for everybody that has been on this journey with you? What do you visualize? What do you see after tomorrow night when you get this gold belt wrapped around your waist?
Man, I just think it's going to be great. I think all the sacrifice that my wife and my son make with me being away, the 21 years, most of those years not believing in myself, listening to that small voice inside me that said, you're not enough, you're too small, you're never going to make it, you weren't built for this, your family tree doesn't reach as high as these lofty goals that you want to reach. And tomorrow night, a dream gets realized. Those chains come off. The ceilings are broken, and I'm planting new roots for my son Hap, and I'm putting new brushes on this masterpiece that I'm trying to paint for him to see someday. That he can speak to people like yourself, speak to people here at the UFC, colleagues and training partners and people of mine that said, your father was this. Because I can tell him 1,000 times what I am and how cool Daddy is, but I want him to hear it from other people, and I want him to be able to see it. And moments like tomorrow night are going to live on the internet forever. They're going to live in the hearts and minds of people. And if I can just touch a couple people out there in these small towns around the world that said that all these people who don't know if they can do it, trust me, you can do it. And I can't wait for it, man. It's going to be amazing.
Michael Chandler, what a big night it's going to be for you, my friend. I know there's a big contingent. You're talking about roots. You put some roots down in Nashville a few years ago. You got some buddies coming down for the fight. I love seeing you with Hap on the Embedded series. And I hope, for your sake, you get to eat that Snickers that you've been holding on to for the last 2 months on Saturday after the fight.
I know. It's funny. That was not product placement. That was seriously just a Snickers my wife got me, and I was like, oh, I'll eat it tomorrow. And then I said, I'll eat it tomorrow, and then I'll eat it tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, Hunter Campbell calls, and then I'm not eating it at all. And it's been sitting in my backpack. It's been sitting in my house down in Florida where I've been training, looking at it every day. Now it's been sitting in my hotel room, and I will eat that right after that gold belt gets around my waist. I'm probably bringing it to the arena.
That melted Snickers is never going to taste so good.
No, it's going to be all deformed, but it's going to be sentimental. It's going to taste like victory. It's going to taste like discipline, and it's going to remind me of my wife. So
awesome. Well, good luck, Mike. We appreciate the time, man.
Yes, thank you, guys.
All right, Michael Chandler. All right, Viviane Araújo weighing in right now. Let's take a look.
She's a tough young fighter, man. A absolute savage, mean as all can be. I mean, she has good striking, good wrestling, so strong. But when she is flowing, when she is doing the things that she's good at, when she can get you to stand at her range and fight at her pace, she can batter and bruise you like not many in her weight class.
126 pounds, the official weight for Viviane Araújo.
And 126 of Viviane Araújo. Makes the weight now, the rehydration starts, and get ready for the performance.
Yeah, Viviane actually weighed in during the Chandler interview, so that was on tape. Beneil Dariush now live on the scale. Let's listen.
It's such a small.
They're taking their time.
Out comes the curtain right there for Benny D. You know, so 1 ounce, he said it's not a big deal. Shook his head, no problem. So once he takes the underwear off, he should be 156 or a little bit beneath that.
He said part of his game plan might be to out crazy Tony Ferguson. Can you out crazy?
That is a tall task.
That's impossible.
That is a tall task.
That won't happen.
See his hands, DC? DC's looking at his phone right now, but he should be looking at Beneil's hands.
Well, I'm trying to look at Beneil Dariush and some stats.
156.5.
Oh no!
A little heavier.
It appears as though Beneil Dariush will take the hour he is allotted to cut the final half pound.
And honestly, it's a half pound, and it doesn't seem like much, but when you're at this point,
it's the worst
and you've already been cutting weight, and it's hard, and you're tired, and you're fatigued, and you thought you were done. It's tough because you got to mentally flip the switch to go and put some work in.
And not only that, but like he's already cooled down.
Yep.
So he done did all the hard work,
to get the
been sweating, and then he cooled down, had to weigh in, hoping that he made it. Like he was like excited, I can drink.
Or hopeful.
Yeah, hopeful, hopeful, and then now he's got to go back and start that process over. That's the worst feeling in the world.
Remember, he did miss weight last August, coming in at 158.
Oh,
against Holtzman.
Yeah, but I mean, he's 156 and a half.
He can do that.
That's the problem, though.
That's a bath.
Getting that sweat to start again.
Just to get it to start.
Get a bath, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But if he gets it to start, because you have to work hard, right? You got to raise the heart rate. You got to build the heart rate. The heart rate has to get pumped up, but you got to give effort and energy to just get your heart beating fast enough for the sweat to eventually start to pour down. And once you start sweating, for a half pound, you got to keep that sweat going for a good 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. But the hard part is getting it going.
Getting it going.
Getting it going is the hard part.
It'll take him some time.
Did you do the salt and the alcohol in the bath? Or?
Never did that stuff. That stuff leaves you a little bit too like run down. Your legs don't ever feel the same.
Burns
I'd
your
rather
skin
get in a sauna. I would get in a sauna and run, right? Old school wrestling. Pull your sweatpants up, tuck your shirt in, get a hat on.
Is that why you wear your pants so high?
Everything.
I was thinking the same thing.
You tuck everything in. I mean, you tuck your socks into your sweats into your socks. You tuck your pants into your shirt. You put a hat on. You keep everything. You trap that heat in there as tight as you can get it once you get going.
Darren Till does the same thing.
Yeah, you got to be warm, man. And you're on fire whenever you're cutting weight. So he's gonna. But the problem is, again, like Dean said, he's dry. He's bone dry. You don't want to be bone dry, so you got to get all the sweet sweat back on. It's all
a miserable feeling. Like going back, like, oh man. Like at this point, I thought I was going to be drinking. Now I got to go back and put this stuff back on. Yeah.
That's the mental switch, right?
Yeah.
You're going back. Instead of taking in the hydration, you're back to work.
It's mental torture, it sounds
like.
It is.
Torture. It's horrible.
Because he's going to try to not do it right away. Well, we got an hour. Give me 10 minutes.
Yeah. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second to go do this.
Give me a second. I'm coming. Let me reset my mind. And we got an hour. I only need 15 minutes. Give me 10 minutes to rest. Like, he's going to try to talk his way into it. And the next thing you know, the time's kind of creeping up on you.
Yep.
And you're like, hey, we only got half an hour now. We got to go. It's scary.
You're such an expert in
It's terrible. It's scary. It's the truth, though, because you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it.
Let's talk this main event here for a minute. Both guys have already weighed in. Both guys have already made weight. We just spoke with Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira. This is good. I can't wait for this fight because to me it's almost a toss-up with these two guys.
You watch Charles Oliveira, and like Dean said earlier, he was always a great grappler. But the differences and the changes that he's made in his stand-up, the confidence that he shows now, he's got that long, tall stance. He's a sniper from the outside. If you get too close, he's throwing elbows and everything and tight. He's so strong, and he throws a lot of technique up the middle, right? So that discourages you from shooting on him. It's crazy. Charles Oliveira is a very difficult out for anyone in the division.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's just so dangerous from everywhere, man. I mean, he comes at you with so many different attacks. Like, you're almost never safe fighting him. He's just so skilled, so dangerous. I mean, 14 submissions, 16 finishes. Performance awards. I mean, and he grew up in the UFC, so like he cut all his teeth in the UFC. Like he's got his experience in the UFC. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
Charles Oliveira has $750,000 in bonuses.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild. But it's the evolution of Charles Oliveira that I feel like is really the story. I mean, the striking game that he has added or finally started to believe in is what has opened up this whole nother area of his submission game. At first, he was just hunting the submission. Now he's got the strikes to set up those opportunistic submissions like he did with Kevin Lee.
And takedowns, right?
Yeah.
Like when he started against Tony Ferguson, like he just looked like he was the guy that was the better striker. He was just right in front of him like this high Muay Thai guard, kind of bouncing like boom, boom, boom. Tony decides to get close and then he locks you up and throws you down. Like when in the world did you ever imagine a world where you had to close the distance on Duke Bronx because he was so good at striking? If you're Tony Ferguson, the dude is nasty.
Yeah, it's always, you always thought that, you could beat him. Like if there was any area where you thought you could beat him, would be on the outside. But like he knows how to play his range so well. He just, like you said, that tall stance, he stands right there, throws those kicks up the middle, and if you're not careful, that right hand's following behind one of them kicks, and boom, it's lights out.
And he'll throw a flying knee against a wrestler. He'll throw kicks against a wrestler because at the end of the day, he's not that worried about getting put on his back.
He wants you to take him down. That's why no technique is off limits to him. Every fighter has things that they're willing to do and then things that they try to put away against certain fighters because there's risk in him. There's no risk in anything he does because if you take him down, he's so good off of his back. If you're forced to stand, now he's developed enough skill to stand and trade with you on the feet.
Yeah, so I had the chance to watch some of the footage with Michael Chandler of Charles, and we noticed those kicks up the middle. So the important thing for Michael Chandler is he can't stand right in front of him. He's going to have to try to close that distance, but at different angles. Because if he stands right in front of him, those kicks are coming up the middle, the knees are coming up the middle. He's got to cut the angle, then get to him.
There's a thing about Chandler that he did against Dan Hooker that allowed for him, the shorter guy, because Chandler said it multiple times in the interview. He goes, "You're not big enough. You're too small," because he's short, right? Chandler's short for lightweight, even against these guys. With Dan Hooker, he was able to get him backing up. That's why he was able to throw those body shots and then eventually change from the body up top and land that nasty left hook that dropped him. Dude, Bronx won't back up.
No, he's not backing up.
He's not worried about the takedown. He's not worried about the takedown.
So now he's got to find a way to manage closing that distance with a guy in Charles who won't be backing up, so he won't have those leaping punch opportunities like he had against Dan Hooker.
Well, what I found interesting is I asked Mike Chandler, I said, what is the likelihood of you backing up? He said, "I'm not backing up." I said, "Well, neither is he." And because if you notice when Charles fought Kevin Lee, he took the center immediately and put Kevin Lee going backwards. So I said, listen, he's not backing up, and if you're not backing up, you got to be prepared to cut angles, and he's, go to the body, then come up top, the same way you did against Hooker, but, you got to really be able to connect because, you're not going to break this guy easily.
Like you said, Chandler has got to find angles in this fight. I mean, we saw him the first Brent Primus fight. He took one kick to the leg and had the same drop foot issue that we saw Jimmy Crute have against Anthony Smith. And, that's exactly was the turning point in that fight. He cannot take leg kicks like that from Charles Oliveira. And like you guys, the range to me is what is the big question mark in this fight, because normally Chandler likes to stay on the outside, dart in, land those, Dutch kickboxing combinations, and then look for a takedown. But is that his plan against Charles Oliveira?
It's going to be hard to implement that. Now, Dean said against Kevin Lee, he immediately put him on his heels. Yes. He always does that because when he's fighting wrestlers, he's even more focused on getting to the middle, backing you up, because then ultimately when he's sniping you, right, when he's hitting you, you defensively wrestle. You panic wrestle at times because you don't want to be back against the octagon against a guy like Charles Oliveira. So you shoot. You shoot when you shouldn't, and what do you end up in? His guillotine. He's got a nasty guillotine.
So you end up going from backwards to forward
to shoot.
And to shoot. So you're always a little too far. So your body's a little extended. Then boom, right inside his guillotine. I mean, he plays that so perfectly.
I know all about that Kevin Lee guillotine, by the way. I'm going to show y'all that Kevin Lee guillotine.
Oh, a little tease. Right. That's what we call in the business.
I
have two questions for you before we move on. One, Michael Chandler has fought one fight in the UFC. Oliveira's been in the UFC for 11 years, and that fight ended in about 2.5 minutes, right? Does that matter at all?
Okay, so here's the issue, right? It's more than just the amount of time spent. Michael Chandler has fought in big organizations. Michael Chandler has never in his life fought in an arena filled with 20,000 people. That's never happened. That's never happened in Bellator. He's never had this many people in the arena. When he made his debut, we were in Abu Dhabi. There were 2,000 people. He will be in a full arena in a main event for the first time fighting for the UFC championship. And trust me, that is intimidating. Fighting for a UFC title in itself is as intimidating as it comes. When you're in your first UFC main event in front of a packed crowd, dude, the UFC builds to the main event. The music, everything, the crowd energy, it's all good to start, but it builds to that final fight. This is new territory for Michael Chandler.
But DC, the mentality of Michael Chandler.
He's a strong-willed guy.
Iron Mike Chandler.
Yes.
The mentality of that guy. I believe that is what sets him apart in this fight. The mentality between those two. I think that there are still, for some people, a few question marks about Charles Oliveira when he gets put in the worst possible position. When Michael Chandler is on top of you, and he said it best, his grappling game is built around anti-jiu-jitsu. Goichi Yamauchi, Brent Primus, those guys are nasty submission artists, not on the level of Charles Oliveira, but Michael Chandler more than handled them. And it's the mentality, I think, that we're going to see. And he said it in the press conference. He's going to try to find that moment where he can break him.
I also thought it was interesting that he's trained for 5-round fights before in the past, whereas Charles, not so much. So perhaps that could be advantage Chandler. Let's take a look at the lightweight rankings right now, because this division is absolutely stacked. We're going to have a new champ on Saturday night. And then, of course, you have Poirier, who's going to be taking on Conor. And then who knows what's going to happen after that? But then our co-main event, of course, another couple of lightweights in Tony Ferguson and Beneil Dariush. And for Ferguson, coming off 2 straight losses for the first time in his career, this is his back's against the wall here.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal. It's unbelievable to think that Tony Ferguson is coming off 2 straight losses. Here's a guy who we thought could beat Khabib. Like, everybody was like, all right, if there's anybody who could beat Khabib, it will be Tony Ferguson. I mean, he's the boogeyman for a reason. I mean, he's got knockout power in his hands. It doesn't always look pretty, but he's incredibly effective. He's great on the ground, like he's so dangerous everywhere, and he's unpredictable. Like, he moves around so much, and he's just very tough to deal with. It's incredible.
He's got a very willing dance partner, though, in Beneil Dariush. Like you said, willing to get crazy when he needs to get crazy. He's going to bring the crazy to Tony Ferguson. Not afraid to get into a gunfight, as you can see here against Drakkar Klose. And listen, Beneil Dariush can get this done anywhere the fight goes. He's got the one-punch knockout power that we haven't necessarily seen from Tony Ferguson, but he's also got a nasty submission game, offensive, defensive. He can find him in the scrambles. This guy has been an absolute finishing machine. And to have a 6-fight win streak in the lightweight division with that many finishes, I mean, all of the momentum is behind Beneil Dariush right now.
And you got 2 athletes going in different directions, right? Beneil Dariush is heading in this direction. Tony seems to be on the decline, but Tony insists that Dariush has not seen anything like him. And when Tony Ferguson says something like this, you have to believe him, because not many people can deal with the Tony Ferguson puzzle. But if Beneil Dariush can get it done, he truly introduces himself to the absolute elite of the division. And massive spot for him. You don't beat Tony Ferguson in this position, in this spot, at this moment, then you don't know what the future holds for you. Because Tony's ripe for the picking right now, but he will not be an easy out for anybody. Tony Ferguson is not willing to be your stepping stone. Let's see what happens between these two.
All right, let's take a look. This is a weigh-in show at who's weighed in, who's made weight, who hasn't. As we look here at the main card, you can see the big one. We are good to go there. 3 men still to weigh in for those just joining us. Beneil weighed in earlier. He missed by half a pound. We can confirm that he's going to try to cut that half pound. In addition, Rogerio Bontorin still to weigh in. We're keeping a close eye on that one because, remember, he accepted his fight on short notice just 3 weeks ago. And Edson Barbosa, who has made weight in his first 2 fights at 145, but obviously a guy who has spent most of his career at lightweight. And a look at the prelims, and we are good to go across the board in the prelims. So that is fantastic news. And we're going to be talking to Shane Burgos here in a matter of moments, which is always fun.
The Bontorin one's a bit surprising.
I know.
Because the guy's he's up 10 pounds, 11 pounds, right? He's a 25-pounder, and even at 3 weeks ago, you would imagine those 25-pounders only weigh about 45.
He kind of let it slip in his interviews the other day. At the very end, he was like, "Yeah, this is still a rough one. I'm having a rough cut." But you're right, DC. I mean, that's concerning.
A bit surprising
for him to be at bantamweight and still struggling.
Yeah, how are you a flyweight and then have struggled to? I mean, 3 weeks. You're right. Like, you shouldn't be that far out of weight, out of that range of your weight to struggle to make 10 pounds.
That's the question, Dean. Like, what's this guy weigh in the offseason, right? Is he 155 pounds? Is he 150?
I mean, Tim Elliott weighs 155, and he's
Tim Elliott weighs 155 and fights 25.
Yes, and he's lean. You just see him walking around.
I didn't think he was that heavy.
Yeah.
I thought those 25-pounders were like 148.
I think they should be. Like, if you're that heavy, like, I think if you're killing yourself to make that weight, it's not even worth it.
If he's 20 pounds over 35, Tim Elliott maybe should be fighting 35.
Exactly. I think that's what I believe. Yeah.
He's doing well.
For a small guy,
For sure.
I mean, heaviweight's okay, but like 125-pounder?
Yeah. Percent of body weight, that is a lot.
Insane.
A lot. He makes it work, though.
So,
he does do it.
So Burgos and Barbosa are going to be kicking off the main card. We're talking to Shane here in just a moment. He's getting all mic'd up. That's going to be a good one. What do you see when you look at Burgos, Dean?
Here's a guy who moves forward. He's got slick boxing. He's very durable, and he's going to need every bit of that durability in this fight because as he's coming forward, Edson Barbosa is going to chop him down. I mean, his leg kicks and his explosion is unreal. I mean, I've seen this guy in the gym. I've worked out with him before, and he's unreal in the gym. Like, the way he delivers his kicks, just
He's just a cardio freak, too.
And he's a cardio freak. But Shane Burgos is going to come forward. He's going to come forward and try to put them hands on him. So, I mean, this is going to be a violent, brutal fight.
And that's why it starts the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, it should. It absolutely
they picked that one for a reason.
They pick the right type of fight to start the pay-per-view. Here's the thing in Shane's approach. He can't be so box heavy. He can't be so boxing heavy. Because if he's too boxing heavy, that puts too much weight on the front leg, and Edson will chop you up. You've got to be moving. You've got to be doing things. You've got to be mixing things up. I mean, look at what Edson Barbosa did to Beneil Dariush and Terry Edom. I mean, he has knocked out guys in spectacular fashion. And for Burgos, this is a guy that just has tremendous skill. That was one that was hard to watch.
Yep.
Yes.
The kick after kick after kick.
Beat up by Edson Barbosa to the point that we're like, stop the fight. Like, I mean, he does not need to show how tough he is. Big spot for Shane Burgos. If he can get a win here, him losing his last fight doesn't even matter anymore because you beat Edson Barbosa, you're viable in the division that you're in.
Is this being his first fight in 11 months a concern at all for him?
No, I don't think it's a concern at all. He's a fighter's fighter. I mean, he is going to make Edson Barbosa fight him. Not that that's difficult to do because Edson Barbosa also brings the fight. But, you know, Shane Burgos, this time away, I think has actually been a blessing for him. I mean, he needed to heal up from that war that he had, and he is hungrier than ever. And, you know, he said, I've been watching that Terry Edom highlight reel all week. You know, I've been watching Edson Barbosa highlights since I was in high school, but you get the sense that doesn't freak him out. That excites him. He is ready to go out there and he's ready to have the biggest opportunity of his life.
I got to be honest, man. Can we get to the barbecue?
I was just going to say
The whole time, I was like, man,
what is happening, man?
I looked over. I was like, this man wants some barbecue. I could see it on your face.
Man, like my stomach's growling. It smells good.
It's like that cloud. It's like that cloud that smell that taps you on the shoulder.
It's like, yo, come over here.
Yeah, come over here.
What's going on? Like,
I know.
My stomach keeps growling.
That bounce in that brisket.
I mean,
when can we get to the barbecue?
I'm glad you said something because I started seeing your eyes kind of rolling back in your head. I'm like, what's wrong with DC?
Man, I keep wanting to look back at the barbecue because this is taking forever. I've changed my mind. I'm officially going to eat on television.
No, we know you eat on television. Ooh, I saw you with a box of chicken. No,
oh my gosh.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, we're sitting here, or put them outside. Because we can't just smell this the whole time.
I know. It's good. It keeps you motivated.
No, man.
Is this an eating competition? Because they're setting DC up to win again if it is.
Well, I mean, could you go back? Could you guys go back to my single, please? Because look at my face, right? My neck is kind of lost. I've lost a little bit of weight. I feel like I'm disappearing out here. I'm so hungry right now, Dean. I feel like I'm disappearing, man.
The man orders his own camera shots. Oh, my God.
Every time he has a camera anywhere near, he did the same thing on his podcast this week, okay? He talked about how good he looked.
I do, right? Like, I'm telling you, Dean, look at my neck, Dean. My neck's a little slimmer, Dean.
I see some veins in there and everything. You got some veins coming through.
I look like I'm going.
Let's not get crazy.
I look like any veins in there. Over here, man. Oh my God, my neck, D. Look at my neck.
We're about to go up to super heavyweight in a second.
When do we get to eat? I think it's coming up pretty soon. Oh, it's coming over.
Oh,
here we go, boys.
Oh boy.
I'm not hungry, guys. I just.
Now listen, you all remember I'm from Kansas City.
See, man,
okay, I'm a little bougie.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Look, they bring me
the whole plate.
I mean, they bring me a plate of food right here.
Is that just for you?
That's just for the champ right
Look
there.
what Mike and Nick
if you had the belt, you might get a barbecue bladder. Let me see. Wait, let's test this brisket real quick.
Yeah, that's gonna be our brisket, man. That's gonna be our jalapeno cheese sausage.
Oh man.
Yeah, we make sure we keep that bark on there.
Okay, I love the bark.
And there's nothing too crazy with it. It's literally just salt, pepper, and smoke.
Hey, one thing about me, I'm a very classy eater. Hey, I'm a very classy eater, Dean.
Do you like sausage?
Dean, that you didn't just put your face in it like a dog?
Dean, look.
Hey, can you
that
touch
bark.
every piece of food on there, DC? Just wondering.
Just relax, Helly. You don't get any of this.
Yeah.
Hey, Dean, look.
Oh my God.
That's it.
Shane is loving this. Look at his eyes.
Down here feeding the champ, Burgos. Down here feeding the champ. Man, that's some good barbecue, man.
Is it good barbecue?
You want to try a little bit?
Yeah, I don't mind if I do. You know what I'm saying? I want one of them little sausages.
You want a sausage, Dean?
Yeah.
I mean, this brisket is fantastic. We got to really kind of take our... Boy, make you want to slap your mama. Make you want to slap your mama, man.
Dan and I have an interview to conduct, you guys.
Brisket's so good, make you want to slap your mama.
I've never heard that. We're still working on little audio issues with Shane, but I love that he can watch and I believe hear us and hear everything that's going on. For a guy that just had to cut weight and weigh in,
he can hear DC chewing.
He's watching DC eating right now.
Licking his lips.
He can't eat this anyway.
Talking about slapping his mama.
You know what I'm saying?
This be bad for Shane Burgos.
You know,
Shane Burgos understands that he can't even eat any of this right now. He don't want that.
Yeah.
Must look good though after you have had to go through all that and haven't been able to eat anything.
Well, it looks good, but it won't be good for his
I had Alfredo once after cutting weight. Bad idea.
Alfredo?
Alfredo. Chicken Alfredo.
I think this is macaroni and cheese right here.
I see the bacon on top.
Pretty good.
You're not going to eat anything?
No, I just had the little the jalapeno sausage.
Okay, all right.
You like
it? The bomb, yeah.
Is it good?
Can I?
Are they starving us over here? What's happening?
They're just hogging the whole
y'all
plate.
Want a little bit? All right. Should I give them? Should I?
You guys can have a little taste.
I'll pass
Thank you.
I'll pass it over.
That's awesome.
All right, you guys.
Now listen.
So this is.
I live on a ranch. I live in Kansas City. Okay.
You're not gonna eat this barbecue.
I mean, he's giving me. Listen, Texas barbecue is.
Oh, come on!
A type of barbecue.
Here's the problem.
It's a type.
Here's the problem. That's why I didn't want to give it to you, because she gonna judge the barbecue.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I mean, all you gotta do is just sit up here and eat the barbecue, Laura.
And here come the comparisons to Kansas City. Here it comes.
Absolutely, bro. Yep. She loves
because it's about the sauce. It's about the sauce in Kansas City. He's
not like Kansas City.
Okay. While Laura's eating, I believe we do have Shane. Shane, you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm here.
All right, Shane Burgos.
This has been enjoyable.
Have you been watching and listening to everything that's been going on?
Yeah, I have been, man. DC has that barbecue spot.
Hey, let me tell you something, Shane. After your fight tomorrow, I will hand deliver you some of this because this is great barbecue.
Dude, I'm
Shane, this is great barbecue.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I mean, you like brisket.
Dude, I love brisket. I love brisket.
Don't cuss, Shane. Don't cuss. I mean, you love brisket.
That's how much I love. That's how much I love brisket.
Oh, wait, Shane, guess what? We're on YouTube, so you can love fucking brisket.
Ah, yes, yeah. I fucking love it. There we go. I'm all about the barbecue, brother.
Hey, Shane, you're calling this fight against Barbosa your world title fight. Why?
Yeah. This is the biggest opponent that I've had. I mean, I fought some big ones before. Emmett's a big one, and the Cub was a big one, but I've been watching Barbosa since I was in high school. Everybody knows who Barbosa is, and a win over Barbosa, everyone that's beaten him, it's meant something. So to go out there and get a win against Barbosa and to win emphatically and dramatically like I plan on doing, it's going to mean something.
You're coming off that epic fight against Emmett. I know it didn't end the way that you wanted to, but such a war. What did you learn from that one?
Stay simple and stay focused. I learned a lot from that one, even though I'm happy everybody enjoyed that fight, but I didn't enjoy it, man. And I'm pissed that I lost that fight. I feel like I did enough to win the first 2 rounds, but it doesn't really matter what I think at the end of the day because it's a loss. But I had to stay focused. I got too caught up in the fun and the moment of that war.
I love the fact that you've been with the same team for your entire career, that Tiger Showman's team.
Yeah.
You guys seem like such a tight-knit group.
Yeah.
What's it mean going out to fight this fight and bring this back home to them?
Yeah, I'm bringing this one back to Tiger Showman's. I've been with the same team since I was 15 years old. I stumbled upon a gym when I was in 9th grade, and I've been with the same team ever since. I'm 30 years old now. Half my life I've been with these people.
Shane, we've seen Edson Barbosa fight at 145 now, but he still hasn't hit the scale yet.
Yeah.
Are you getting a bit worried about him in the weight class?
I don't know if he did look a little big. I saw him on fight week. I saw him a couple days ago. He did look pretty big, and I know he hasn't weighed in yet. So I don't know. I mean, I'll take that extra 30% of his money, but I hope the fight's still on, man. I want him to make weight.
Absolutely. And Shane, when it comes to your approach, you're a box-heavy guy, right? You're a boxer. But with Edson's ability to chop you down from the front leg, do you have to be a little less heavy on the front foot as you're throwing your jab and trying to walk him down because of his ability to throw all those nasty kicks to the lead leg?
I can't focus too much on what he's going to try to do. I'm obviously aware of what he's going to do, but I'm good at what I do. And if I'm sitting on the outside waiting for him to kick me, he's just going to fucking kick me. So me pressuring is going to be key, but me also sticking behind my jab, doubling my jab, faking and feinting and mixing it up. I think not just with my hands, but I can kick too. I can switch stances. I can wrestle. I got to show everything off in this fight.
Shane, there is an absolute reason why this fight is kicking off the pay-per-view. They knew exactly what they were doing there. And I know you've got a lot of friends and family making the trip down to Texas.
Yes.
You're going to have a full arena at the Toyota Center. What's that going to be like walking out?
I can't wait. Honestly, I'm excited for later today. We went to the weigh-in show to get a little taste of that. But, yeah, I got a bunch of friends, a bunch of family here already. But, man, I can't wait to go home, honestly. Sunday, I just had a baby girl 2 weeks ago. I got my wife at home. I got my 4-year-old at home. Avery, Daddy loves you. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to be home on Sunday with my girls.
All right, Shane Burgos. Baby girl Grace, correct?
Yes, yes.
Congratulations, my friend. Looking forward to seeing you fight on Saturday, man.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the violence.
Oh, man, he is violent, too.
That look on his face.
Number 4 all-time in strikes per minute with just over 7. He brings the heat with regularity, does Shane Burgos. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just listening, man.
I agree with
He's
you
just
though.
mad
on
that the
fight.
barbecue's not in his lap anymore.
Here, hold on.
He's not looking at you. He's looking at that
What'd
brisket.
you say?
No, I agree with you in the fact that he can't be box heavy. Like
No,
he's talking about getting behind his jab. I agree with you. He can't really get behind his jab too much because every time he takes a step, Barbosa's going to kick the leg right from under him.
I'm telling you, man, you got to limit the pressure that you keep on your front foot. You can't do that.
Hold on. There's new video into the show. I just got word from our producer Zach Candido. Instant replay.
Oh yeah, look at that. I'm a classy.
Look at that.
Dude, I am a classy eater. I am very sophisticated. Look at my finger.
Did you eat that with Grey Poupon?
Excuse me.
I believe we have our latest guest, Carlos Correa, Astros shortstop, World Series champion, all-star, huge UFC fan. Carlos, you able to see anything what's going on here right now, DC eating all this stuff?
I see what's going on over there. I didn't get invited to the party, DC. Come on, man.
You know, we know.
His mouth is full.
Mouth full of food, champ. Mouth full of food, champ. Listen, you got the open invite to anything UFC. My house, Carlos, is your house. You're welcome.
Thank you, brother. Same here in Houston. Whenever you and your kid and your family come here, you know you got tickets for the games. Open invitation anywhere here in Houston.
My man.
Carlos is an absolute MMA, UFC fanatic, so much so that he has his own UFC podcast with Lance McCullers called The Walkout. How did this come to fruition? I mean, you guys have like 20, 30 episodes already.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. So during the pandemic, we got nothing to do. There was no baseball being played. And, constantly in the clubhouse, we're talking about MMA. So our teammates were like, you guys should start a podcast and, talk MMA. And we said, now is the perfect time to do it. So during the podcast, we bought everything. We started doing it. And, our fans started loving it, and we kept doing it. So to this day, we still find time during the season to record an episode every week. So, we enjoy it. We're huge fans, so we just have fun with it.
Carlos, we have a very exciting main event coming up in your city. Who you got and why?
Oh, the main event is going to be crazy, man. It's as 50-50 as it gets, in my opinion. And even though I love Michael Chandler, the guy that he is and the talent that he has, I got to go with Charles Oliveira. I think it's a long time coming. The guy's on an 8-fight win streak, I believe. And, man, I think he has every tool in the package to be champion. So I got to go with Charles Oliveira on this one.
Carlos, I first have to apologize for last time I interviewed you alongside Lance McCullers. I awarded Lance the prize, if you remember right, on UFC 251. You ended up being correct in your prediction, so I have to give you credit where credit is due. And that's why I want to ask you for a prediction on the co-main event. I mean, this is going to be a wild fight. Tony Ferguson, Beneil Dariush. What are you expecting from these two?
Oof, I'm expecting an epic fight from these guys. There's obviously going to be a lot of blood. If there's not a Tony Ferguson fight, there's not a lot of blood in that fight. And Dariush is not going to back up. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think Tony Ferguson is going to make the necessary adjustments to come up with the win on this one. Dariush is a great opponent, game opponent, but I think the level of elite fighters that Tony's been fighting throughout his career and the experience that he has in the octagon, I think that's going to make him win the fight.
How about a guy that you just grew up loving, or a fight that was just so epic that you can't get out of your mind?
Grew up watching Anderson Silva in MMA. In boxing, Felix Tito Trinidad is the one that got me into combat sports when I was 5 years old. So ever since, I've been watching every single fight every Saturday, either it's boxing or MMA. So, I love the sport. I follow it closely. And, when I'm playing games on Saturday, I'm always running to the clubhouse to see the results of each fight.
Well, I had the chance to see you play the other night against the Angels. Thank you, by the way, for joining us after that long extra innings game against the Rangers last night that you guys won. But unfortunately, you were going to be here, but now you're not going to be attending the fight, correct?
Yeah, that one hurts, man. You know, with the new positive cases around MLB from vaccinated players, we won't be able to make it anymore to the car. So that one still hurts, but at the same time, you know, I'm gonna run home and watch the fights here on TV and listen to you guys break it down for us.
All right, it is Carlos Correa. Hey, Carlos, really appreciate the time. Congratulations on all your success. And you got to drop that new issue, a new episode of the podcast. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm going to listen to it as soon as it comes out.
Thank you so much for having me, and I will for sure. We will.
All right, that's Carlos Correa, the all-star shortstop for the Houston Astros. Of course, DC gets an all-time invite anytime he's in Houston for anything, so that makes a lot of sense.
He gets handed a lot of stuff.
Just know what, hey guys, people at home, just know something. In my ear, I was told twice, DC asked a question. But they just kept, like, I didn't get to ask one question. You guys stonewalled me. You guys did not let me talk to Carlos Correa. Not Correa. One time, in my ear, they said, DC asked a question. Helly said, no, I got this one. Then Dean Thomas is like, no, I got this one. Laura's like, no, I got this one. So you guys just shut me out of the All-Star. That's fine.
You know what I'm going to do right now?
You guys just treat me like that. That's fine.
DC.
That's fine.
Let's take a deeper look at Tony Ferguson.
Wow.
So we were here in October, UFC 254. Khabib Nurmagomedov submits Justin Gaethje and then retires. And now we are live inside the new plush Etihad Arena here in Abu Dhabi for UFC 257. The wait for one of the biggest cards of the new year ends here.
Iron Mike Chandler finally makes his UFC debut. Michael Chandler finds himself in a situation where he controls his destiny. He can put himself in position for a championship fight. But he's got to get past one of the best lightweights in the world. This may be the most difficult fight for a debut you could get in the UFC, and a tough Dan Hooker.
Iron Michael Chandler taking on Dan Hooker.
I knew that within the first 12 months of being signed with the UFC, I was going to say yes to every opportunity that was thrown my way.
The Missouri All-American is full of confidence.
I will never pull out of a fight. I will never miss weight, and I will always come to entertain. And when that cage door closes and that bell rings, I'm coming forward and I'm going to get in your face, and you have no other option but to retreat.
Not only does he feel he belongs, he feels as though he is a future champion in the UFC.
Oh! Big knockdown for Michael Chandler! Big right hand, Dan's hurt bad! Oh, Hooker covering up!
Oh my goodness!
Michael Chandler maximizing the debut and sticks the landing! Michael Chandler, bona fide UFC lightweight contender!
Surprise, surprise! There's a new king in the lightweight division! That's why you paid the big bucks for Michael Chandler! You want to talk about making a UFC debut? Michael Chandler just did it as good as you can.
Michael Chandler will, in fact, fight for a UFC lightweight championship on May 15th. He will be fighting Charles Oliveira.
It's been such a long road. A lot of ups, a couple downs, but every road has led me to this. Just a small guy from a small town who got beat down a couple times, pulled himself up by his bootstraps, dusted himself off.
Okay, we cut out of that feature because Beneil Dariush is back on the scale. He was half a pound over, so behind the curtain now. Hands up, weighing in. Took 30, 35 minutes, did not take the full hour.
He's good now.
He's
156, the official weight for Beneil Dariush.
Is there any better sense of relief than like when they say, all right, you're good?
The moment that thing starts to move, moment it starts to move, I'm like, hey, it broke. As long as it broke the top, it broke the top. You better give me my weight.
So he makes weight. That's our co-main event. So we're locked in on the main event and the co-main. Beneil Dariush, Tony Ferguson, and Edson Barboza coming up next. Waiting on him to weigh in. Of course, he kicks off the main card against Shane Burgos.
Great job by Beneil Dariush, man, going back and getting that weight off. Like we said, very difficult thing to do under those circumstances. So now he stands on the verge, the eve of his biggest fight of his career.
So Rogerio Bontorin, by the way, the only person who has yet to weigh in. So waiting on Bontorin. And other than Edson Barboza, as I mentioned, who's coming to the scale right now.
I mean, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Look at the top of the see how it's not moving? That's scary, man. Now it moves.
It moved. There it goes.
He's smiling, though. I think he...
It's moving here.
He smirked a little bit earlier. He's good. What?
146.5, it said.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Take them off.
In the
They
back,
gotta
it must
take
be-
I'll tell you what, though, him at 45, that is gotta be.
I never thought he could make 45.
Yeah, me
He
neither.
had a hard
It's
time making
insane that he
lightweight
makes
at
that weight
times.
class.
I agree with you. It is
He
insane.
seems a little shocked, though. He thought,
Yeah, well, you pointed to the back, right?
Yeah,
He's like,
stay
hey,
on
in
the
the
back.
back, I was on the weight.
It's crazy how that can happen. And so frustrating, too. If there's a half-pound difference between the scales, I mean, that'll
Yeah, you got to give yourself a little
lot of
cushion.
weight.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight, half pound.
Those shorts, though.
you just ate a half pound about 5 minutes ago.
You think so? Yeah. You think so?
We should have weighed you before the show.
I just
after the show.
saw a tweet that said after watching DC taking that brisket, he should have his own cooking show. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and chase down that. I'm gonna go and
get a
figure out
cooking show?
yeah.
Get it?
146, the official weight for Edson Barboza.
I mean, those are some heavy underwear. Earlier, we saw a pair of underwear that weren't .2. I mean, they were .2, right? Only. Now these are half. I mean, what did that
Different
do,
styles, man.
Maybe they were sweaty.
Boxer
Was
briefs, a
Edson
little
still
longer.
wet? You know, yeah, you know, I don't know, man. Edson used the bathroom in his shorts before.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The long and short of it is that he makes it.
He makes the weight, yep, which is good.
And he is so big for a featherweight.
Watch
Well,
it
and even
tomorrow night.
Burgos said that earlier, right? Like he looked like he was a little big when I saw him 2 days ago.
I mean, he
And
was never small
feels
at
it.
lightweight.
He feels he's gonna look massive.
Yep.
So only Bontarine left. I mean, that's
Wait, no,
crazy.
Bontarine will, of course, be there when he weighs in. But until then, we have a little rapid fire trivia. You guys ready to go?
I don't have a paper or anything. Are we just saying it? I mean,
I asked the question.
okay.
You just give an answer. Not
Okay.
really a
Need to talk,
contest.
So put
Yeah.
your food down. Just make sure you have food in your mouth.
I'm very competitive.
Well,
Okay.
let's make it a contest.
No, let's not.
All right, let's start with Laura here. More impressive win: Charles Oliveira's mauling of Tony Ferguson or Michael Chandler knocking out Dan Hooker?
I'm going to say Oliveira's win over Tony Ferguson was impressive to me because it opened my eyes to his ability to wrestle those body lock takedowns. I've never seen him do that before. People don't do that to Tony, and yeah, that's what got him this opportunity.
I mean, I think that I agree with Laura to a degree, but circumstances.
I think we're going
I
in
gotta
order,
say
DC.
Chandler. No, actually.
DC's
in my
number
ear, I
two.
would say- yeah,
He's
see?
number two.
See, bullying me again. So I gotta say Chandler because of the circumstances, right? UFC debut, undercarded a McGregor fight, fighting Dan Hooker, and just not only winning the fight, but nailing everything from the fight to the post-fight call-out. I think everything that it entailed makes that fight a little bit more impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with DC. I mean, and I remember sitting with Chandler right after that fight, and he was so relieved that he was able to pull it off the way he did. So, like, he put the stakes on himself so high that, like, it was very difficult for him to overcome that. And the fact that he did that, I got to give him that more impressive.
Both of those fights setting up their title opportunities. All right, guys, this is rapid fire, not slow fire, so let's speed it up a little bit. Buy or sell Laura with Habib gone. The winner of Saturday's main event will determine the best lightweight.
Oh, Dustin Poirier is still out there.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah, DC?
I'm going to say sell. I believe the best lightweight in the world is Islam Makhachev. Not like Dustin Poirier, he's my guy, but I believe Islam's the best lightweight in the world.
As does Habib. He
Yeah, I
believes
think
the
he's
same
the
thing.
best.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm going with Dustin Poirier, so.
Okay. All right. Biggest X factor in the title fight: Oliveira's striking or Chandler's grappling wrestling?
I think the biggest X factor is going to be Chandler's grappling wrestling. His anti-jiu-jitsu game is phenomenal.
I believe that too. I agree with Laura. Yeah, his ability.
First time for everything.
Finding
have to
common
agree, because
ground.
I have to agree. Right? Him being able to stay out of submissions is going to be very key for him.
Yeah, I think the striking of Oliveira is the biggest X factor.
Okay. Fact or fiction? Dariush has won 6 in a row. Tony has lost 2 in a row. Momentum matters in this fight.
Fact, I do think momentum matters. I think it matters almost more for Beneil Dariush to believe that this is his time and he's ready to go. I think Tony Ferguson is going to do his own thing and is, he's on another wavelength. So more so for Beneil.
Fiction, because of what Laura said. Tony's on a different wavelength. Him losing doesn't matter. He's going to do his own thing.
Fact. Momentum always matters.
Okay.
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
I think
Interesting.
he's being rapid. I like that.
I like that. Well, some people believe in momentum and some people don't in sports. It's
and
fascinating
do you
to me.
think Tony Ferguson believes in momentum?
No.
Not right now, he doesn't. Yeah. All right, true or false, with an impressive performance on Saturday, Viviane could catapult herself into a title shot.
I think so. I think if she can beat up Caitlin Chookagian and a former title challenger, I think she can. That weight class, other than Valentina, wide open.
Yep, that's why.
Completely wide open. Sure. Anybody beats anybody on any given day.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I agree with Laura again, because if you win, you can win one at times and get a title fight at 125.
Hold your hand right now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with both of them. Yeah, I can't argue that point. You guys are right. Can't argue.
Okay,
I'm love to argue.
I'm getting so tired of you guys agreeing on everything. It's not making good TV. So we're going to go to DC this time. You're going to go first. More likely to be a top 15 middleweight by the end of the year, Jacare or Andre Muniz?
I think at this point Jacare's 2-5, and I think it's over. It's about over. Muniz has some talent, but I believe the weight class is too deep. No, neither one of them. Can I do neither?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say neither.
Okay.
Well, the question is literally who is more likely. You can't say neither is more likely.
Neither is going to be.
It's either or.
It's not going to be either of them, I think, by the end of the year.
No, it's literally an A-B question. You can't say that. You're doing it again where you just completely, I'm not going to answer. I'm going to go Jacare, because I think I understand he's hitting that point in his career, but given his style, he's not a striker. Given his style, this guy can grapple. You're going to be able to grapple into your 40s, frankly, into your 50s. DC,
well, he has to. I can't. I can't grapple.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Jacare got knocked out from somebody in their guard. Yeah. Come on now. Come on. He got knocked out from somebody in their guard.
That was a freak deal.
You know what I'm saying? He got knocked out from somebody in their guard.
Don't be ganging up on me.
I'm just saying, it's like, but is Andre Muniz going to be in the top 15? That's what I'm saying.
But more likely, but he's more likely than Jacare. He's probably not, but he's more likely than Jacare.
Probably not.
No. Look at that.
But he's more likely than Jacare.
He's 20-4. Hasn't lost in the UFC yet.
They got some good dudes at middleweight, man. They got some good dudes at middleweight.
You can grapple long time.
Yeah.
Six fight win streak for Andre Muniz.
Yeah, I know, but still, man, that's a tough. You're starting to really now get into the meat of potatoes.
All right, let's move on. More intimidating combo: Shevchenko's sisters or Diaz brothers?
Oh, intimidating for completely different reasons.
Better hurry. Rapid.
Man, I'm gonna go with the Diaz brothers, because they kind of get that, like, they give me the little heebie-jeebies.
This is not rapid. This is not rapid.
They're bad boys. What I'm saying is they kind of make me feel alive, but I'm kind of scared of them at the same time.
You ever been to the Oscars?
Yeah. Should I come out like the Gong Show? The clown in the Gong Show?
Get the hook.
I'm going to go ahead and say the Shevchenko sisters, because they're actually still fighting right now. And they're both still fighting, so Nick doesn't fight.
But I didn't say as fighters, just like in general, who's more intimidating?
The Diaz brothers.
No. The Shevchenko sisters, they shoot guns.
Oh, yes.
They shoot guns. They will shoot you and fly planes.
They're spies.
They're spies, for sure.
They're like the Black
I'm not messing
Widow.
with them, Black Widow,
right?
I'm not messing with them.
Like, we don't know.
Cut you, though.
Because it's like the Shevchenko sisters were kind of just dropped into the UFC. Like, where'd they come from? Right. It's like the Black Widow. Boom, here are the Shevchenko sisters. Like, where did they come from? Like, be honest. Like, the Black Widow backstory. Like, when's the Black Widow movie coming on so we can learn?
You guys making fun of how long I take to answer?
I'm just saying, right? Like, because seriously, where did Shevchenko sisters come from?
Oh, they're for sure.
Where do they live? Where do they live? They speak like 7 languages. They got passports
everywhere.
It's time to seriously. It's time to seriously dig a little deeper.
I can see it right now. Reddit conspiracy theory thread. Shevchenko sisters.
Ask them how many passports they got.
I mean, come on.
So if you guys just disappear, we're gonna know why.
Yeah,
somebody's trying to pull the curtain back on Valentina and Antonina.
Okay. Do you guys remember when we played Fight Ghost Quarantine with Chris Weidman when he came on? So we're gonna give you 3 names. You can choose to either fight them, ghost them, you want nothing to do with them, or quarantine with them. It's like being stranded on a desert island with one other person. Okay? The 3 names are Ferguson, Chandler, and Oliveira. Let's start with DC. Fight Ghost Quarantine, Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira.
I'm fighting Charles. I'm fighting Michael Chandler, ghosting Charles Oliveira. and I'm quarantining with Tony Ferguson.
What?
I'm quarantining with Tony Ferguson.
What?
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, oh,
the
God.
entertainment?
Yeah.
I mean, just watching him? Just watching Tony in a
that's true.
quarantine situation?
You got a good point there.
And the only reason I'm ghosting Charles is because Charles, you know, I can't really talk to him. Like, we don't speak the same language.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's a good point.
Michael Chandler.
That's actually a good point.
So I'm ghosting Tony Ferguson. There's no place in this world where I'm going to hang out with this guy. I'm not hanging out with Tony Ferguson nowhere. I'm going to quarantine with Michael Chandler because he's such a good dude. He's got a good vibe. I love hanging with him.
For you.
Yeah, he might cook for me. He's a good dude. And Charles Oliveira, I'll take my chances. You know what I'm saying? I'll just let him choke me out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's he could choke me out.
I'm kind of along the same lines, right? Like Tony makes me a little nervous. I don't know if I could quarantine.
But like Tony, you know, you quarantine with Tony, right? Like, you know, if it turns into a survival situation, Tony's crazy enough to go try to kill something.
I mean,
get some
fair
food.
enough.
Yeah,
fair
he also might eat you. So.
I'm a 105-pound female. They're all gonna kick my ass. I don't know who I want to fight. I want to fight Charles Oliveira because I feel like he'd be such a gentleman that he would do it kindly and gently and just like sort of like slowly put me to sleep.
Yeah,
Just
go to sleep, Laura.
Go to sleep. Take a nap. It's okay. It doesn't hurt. It's kind of peaceful going out like that. So yeah, there we go.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So you're quarantining with Tony?
No, I'm quarantining with Michael Chandler.
I think Michael Chandler would be a good hang. Fun, normal dude.
I could listen to that man talk all day long. He's so interesting. He's so kind. We could talk about Jesus. We could talk about kids.
Yeah.
So
I'm the only one quarantining with Tony.
Yeah, you're the only one fighting Chandler, too.
He's a good Midwest boy.
I thought that was interesting. All right, that was our rapid fire segment. Mike from Pinkerton's Barbecue right here in Houston has all this food prepped up. What do you have there, Mike?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having us out here, man. We're gonna definitely highlight what Texas barbecue is, which is gonna be slow and low, salt and pepper. Only use post oak and mesquite. Mesquite's gonna get that red flavor in there, and then that post oak's gonna be that heavy white smoke. And then, as you can see here, man, we're gonna keep this hidden for you guys. We got a special treat for y'all, man.
Oh, wow.
I know what
You see how good he is on TV? He's been on TV a time or two.
Yeah, you can tell.
He was my boy Roger Mookin a while back in the day, you know, Man Fire Food. He's been on TV before.
Stop. Hey, nobody's bringing you a cooking show. Well, I see what you're doing now.
I'm definitely getting a cooking show.
He's trying to pitch a cooking show. He's pitching a cooking show right now.
What's up? We got y'all individual trays this time.
What's up, baby? How you doing? You think I can get a cooking show?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, DC, we have a little reaction when you're thinking about food, right? Like, this is what happens to Daniel Cormier when just the subject of food comes up or the smell is around. Look at it.
There it is.
Hercules! Don't lift the paper.
Don't touch the paper yet.
Oh,
There
boy.
you go.
Okay, thank you.
He's like, don't touch the paper. The first thing I want to do is touch the paper.
Okay.
I know. And we're like little kids.
Yeah,
now,
I'm like,
right?
All right, guys, go ahead and reveal that paper.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
That's a beef rib right there.
Holy
DC, what does that make you feel, man?
That makes me feel like Christmas morning. Oh, listen.
I got you.
Mike, as I'm trying to lift the bone, it looks like it's about to fall off.
Did you see it jiggle? Hey, did you see that jiggle?
That's what you want.
Mike, it is tender. Look at that wrap, that butcher's paper right there.
Got you. All right, guys, I'm going to explain what you guys are going to be diving into, okay?
That is
And yes, she's doing it the right way. Go ahead and hold it up. Don't use a fork, DC. Don't do it.
Wait, I'm very
Don't mess my hands up. There it is.
DC,
You
the
can
man just told you
tell
you can't
who
use
lives
a
on a
fork.
ranch and who
That's
eats
right.
barbecue.
I'm just very classy, you know, that guy.
Okay, so you're going to dive into that beef rib, all right? It's going to be about an 18-hour process, low and slow, just salt and pepper. Nothing any extra, guys.
That is a crazy
That's
rib.
it? Just salt and pepper?
Salt and pepper, man.
That is a crazy rib, Mike.
All right, next, you got the brisket that you guys already tried. Definitely going to highlight that bark, that beautiful smoke ring in there.
Look at this, man.
Got food all
There it
over.
is.
It just like melts.
Dropping,
This
yeah.
is gonna end up on
melts in your
someone's
mouth.
OnlyFans account.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
They better pay then.
They're gonna. I'll have
Try
to
this
start one.
brisket. I love these briskets.
Yeah, so we did win the Memphis in May for Best Beef. That's where our owner and pitmaster Grant Pinkerton is right now.
Yeah.
Representing us. We're going to try to take home that pork this year too.
Wow.
Next is going to be the jalapeno cheese sausage, right? So it's going to
Just had a bite.
dude,
Killer.
yeah. Right when you bite it, that cheese. That
It's a perfect amount of pop, Mike.
That is. That's what we want.
It
We want that pop.
explodes.
Let's see if it snaps. Like, you see that little snap to the, you got sausage
does.
has to have, the sausage has to have like a snap to it.
Right on that first
That's
bite.
right.
Oh my goodness. I
heard it from here.
I heard the snap. You could hear the snap.
Yes.
Next, DC, we got something special for you, for all you guys too. That's gonna be our smoked duck and sausage jambalaya.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not eating duck. There's no way. I'm not eating duck.
He didn't put any duck in yours.
No
bro.
way.
Yeah,
I refuse to eat wild game. I eat no wild game. No wild game.
You don't eat no
Deer, duck.
Are you
No way.
serious?
You don't eat
I'm too
venison?
good for that. Too
Someone
good for that.
Hold on, you too good for eating duck?
Too good for that.
Stop playing. You need to stop.
Chicken, beef, and pork.
You need to stop
That's
playing.
What about little quail? I had some quail last
Well,
night.
that's delicious.
I'll never eat quail.
Take your
I'll never eat
man
quail.
card out. Someone take his man card. You don't eat game?
I won't eat game.
He
Nope.
wouldn't even eat it. He wouldn't even pick up.
Ask
meat.
all my
Hey, pork.
nutritionists. Ask all my nutritionists. They got lucky once and got me to eat tuna. I don't even eat
Tuna's
tuna.
not wild game.
I'm not eating tuna. I want no tuna.
Dude.
Chicken, beef, and pork.
That's it.
That's it.
I forgot how bougie
So
you
last
were.
year, right before the pandemic started, I think it was January, Izzy showed up at Pinkerton's. You know how the UFC travels. They had about 15 guys.
There he
with them.
goes.
Oh, yeah.
Wrestler, jiu-jitsu trainers. Came in, did the first round, probably ordered about like $200, $300 worth of food. They probably finished it in about 10, 15 minutes. Came back, asked us if it was
There he is.
okay. Asked us if it was okay to go through the line again.
Oh my
Are you serious?
Yeah. And we said,
champ.
absolutely,
They
man. They ended up buying more food and then taking food to go.
Wow.
He was super generous, man. We got a bunch of photos with him, with the guys. So yeah, man, the taste of Texas and where.
Man, this sausage.
Mike, I can't comfortably say that barbecue in Kansas City could ever live up to something.
Are you serious?
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm
All
just being
due
honest,
respect,
Mike.
sir.
Like this
All-
is tremendous.
All due respect,
Yeah.
okay?
No, if you got to say with all due respect, that means you're about to disrespect him.
but-
Hey, but it really means it feels like you're about to disrespect this man, as you've done to me
No,
on
you're
many occasions.
disrespecting an entire city of 2.2 million people.
We do have
who know
barbecue sauce if
barbecue.
you want some barbecue.
Oh, that would be. Oh,
That would actually be
there. Let her.
You don't need it, Mike.
Drip it with
it's
barbecue
so good
sauce.
you don't
Salt
need
and
barbecue.
pepper.
Hey, and then we got something special for you at the end to wash this all down, man. It's our signature drink. It's called the ranch water. Just hold on.
Okay.
I have to find a napkin. I have food all over my face.
We'll take care of you,
My
man.
hands are so.
Why we do
Where'd
that?
you get that?
Let me go
let's
get
take
her
a
some
closer
barbecue
look at
sauce.
Charles Oliveira.
Oh, this?
Pardon me.
UFC 262 headliner Charles "Du Bronx" Oliveira has a willingness to take on all comers,
Cruza frontal.
which is a product of head coach Diego Lima
Cruza cotovelo.
and the famed Shoot Box Academy in Brazil.
A nossa ideia da nossa família é não parar nunca. Ele é um cara que sempre se mantém treinado, então é o que a gente sempre fala, né? Ele tá pronto 365 dias por ano. Cotovelo com a mema. E a gente pedindo o Ferguson. Direto. Quando nos ofereceram o Ferguson, nós nem podíamos falar não, porque a gente pediu, aí de repente oferece, a gente tinha que pegar.
I mean, this dude wins 8 fights in a row and beats Tony Ferguson, and then you're looking to see who should fight for a title?
And this fight came together just 3 weeks ago.
He is in his prime. He's just one of the best fighters to watch for pure technique. His cardio's off the charts.
Oliveira's title bout against Michael Chandler was earned by accepting a short-notice fight with former interim champ Tony Ferguson.
And that's one of the things that makes this fight so exciting. He is facing a guy in Tony Ferguson that's one of the top contenders.
And winning in style.
Look at that beautiful low kick. He is on another level right now.
I mean, literally just picked him up.
Look at Oliveira just beating Tony Ferguson up.
Oh, armbar. That's in deep.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my
Oh, my
goodness.
goodness. I mean, that was a dominant round there by Oliveira.
Os caras me deram cara que falava que era bicho-papão e eu falava que não era tudo isso.
So if there's a guy that can really stay in a fight, it's Tony Ferguson. But, man, he is behind this young man right now.
It's the way he's doing it, though, that's so insane. It's not just beating him, it's completely dominating him.
Oh, man.
No one does this on the ground with Tony Ferguson.
Falei, me assista, eu vou chocar o mundo. E a gente vai lá e faz isso. Eu mandei recado pra divisão.
This is incredible. To do that to Tony Ferguson,
and now he takes him down again.
How good is this guy? Wow. Tony managed to sneak out the back door and get on top and immediately slammed back into position.
Falei pra eles que eu não tava brincando.
We're seeing the fully realized potential of one of the most exciting guys in this division. Just full domination by Oliveira.
And he's still just entering his prime.
Amazing.
Por isso eu vim pra cá fazer história. Eu falei, eu vou chocar o mundo. Ah, no cinturão é meu, 2021 eu tô chegando. É nóis, pode vir, filho, mas vem você vir sem entender nada, porque nós tá pronto. É isso.
Still digging into our Pinkerton's barbecue just a little bit. Rogerio Bontorin has yet to weigh in, so he is the last person we are waiting on to weigh in here before UFC 262, which is taking place at the Toyota Center, which is a very special place in the heart of one Daniel Cormier. Back in October of 2015, you had an epic fight here against Alexander Gustafsson. And this is one that I know you can probably recite everything that happened in every second of that fight.
You know, man, it was my first title defense after beating Rumble Johnson in Houston. And, you know, this place means a ton to me because I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana, which is very close. But right here, you see us weighing in, and Alex is very tall. And I remember the press conference, Dana saying, wow, you saw the size difference. I say it won't matter. And here, as we're about to get done, I lean in and I go, I'm going to fuck you up.
Can I tell you that your neck looks good in that picture?
Yeah, I did look good. I was slim. You know, and you go, right here, you go to the walkout, jog to the octagon. Guys, I always jog to the octagon because why wait, right? You've been training so long for this. It's like now it's time to go show all the work that you've done. And, you know, I felt the love in Houston, all the people that supported me, the people from Lafayette and everything. And, man, it was just a fight that I didn't know what to expect because the guy was so talented. I was able to get to a really good takedown very early, right? He's tall. He's very tall. And I remember walking in there and going, he's taller than I remember from the weigh-in, right? He must have been leaning.
Yeah.
But then as we started to fight, you know, I was able to trap him here off of an inside kick. Level change, right? I drive into him. I want to take my head to the outside, and I was able to rotate him. A lot of times, guys, this happens because these guys don't know how to fall. If you know how to fall, then you just go to your hands, you know?
Yeah.
So they actually should be credited with some of these takedowns I've had over my career. I had a lot of success here with Alex, just collar tying him with the left hand and just jamming uppercuts into his face. But he was fighting back very effectively. He actually cut me in round 2 and took me down twice to win that round. Here I landed a beautiful lead right hand. Hook right hand is another combination I threw a lot over the course of the fight. Alex was all busted up, man. His lip was cut through the middle. My eye had 2 cuts over the top, but he was having very difficult time trying to get me off of the collar. And I just remember putting a lot of pressure on Alex. But third round, I was winning the entire round, and Alex landed this crazy knee that dropped me. I grabbed the single leg, was able to get up to my feet and get back into him in order to end the round. But I get to the corner here, and I'm asking Bob, did I win the freaking round? Because I had won 4.5 minutes of the round, and then he drops me. And I was like, what is happening? But I'm all beat up. It's round 3. You're trying to, like, focus and get reset for round 4. And very close fight. Crowd's going crazy. But again, I just constantly was pressuring Alex. Many times he had to, like, turn his back to run away from me because I just kept staying in his face. I knew that if I just fought as hard as I could, empty the tank, I would give myself a chance, right? So going into round 5, I'm exhausted, right? There's no feeling, guys, like a UFC title fight going into the 5th round where it's been that close and competitive. And 5th round, he lands a beautiful combination to start the round, right? And I remember thinking to myself, this has to change. I can't be on the outside. He's too long. So then I just started pressuring him again. And I was just in his face. And this is how the fight ended. With us just punching, going crazy, in tight. I was just hand fighting with him like I was wrestling. And then just to throw something at the end of the fight, right?
You see his little legs swing around?
I mean, it's all about visuals, right? And I mean, look at it. This was the most gratifying feeling in the world. Rosendo's going crazy. Bob told me after the 5th round, you got that shit, right? I was still questioning whether I won or not. And I remember the first judge saying 48-47 Gustafsson, and Dana goes, wait, what? He looked so like, no, he didn't win. And then one judge said 48-47 Cormier, and then the last judge said 49-46. And when they said 49-46, I knew it was me, because I knew there was no way I had lost 4 rounds to Alex. But you leave a part of yourself in every competition. For the bad feelings between myself and Jones, all these, there's still a part of me that respects and truly, honestly, owe a debt of gratitude to these guys for stepping in the octagon. And on October 3rd, 2015, Alexander Gustafsson and I just truly left every part of ourselves inside of the octagon in Houston. I remember watching James Harden, Dwight Howard, those guys going crazy next to the octagon. And because of that, I did an appearance in Houston, and the fans came out in droves because they remember and they appreciate those types of things because they know what we give them. And that night was crazy. I remember my daughter woke up the next morning, and she came into the room, and I was all beat up and cut. And she goes, "What happened to Dad?" Like, she had no idea what happened to me because at that time, she was only like 4 years old.
Right.
And I was just beat up. But it's those performances, man, those fights that draw out the best of you, and those are the things that, like Michael Chandler said earlier, will last a lifetime. And if he can make that moment, something like that tomorrow happen, his boy Hap will never forget the night that his dad became a god. And that's what I did on that night. So when I show it to my children, regardless of how old they get, when they see those performances, they can say, you know what, my dad did something insanely special.
I can see how much it means to you.
It does.
Talking about it. And you said Alex made you a better person, too.
Yeah, he did. And you know, he lifted me up afterwards. You kiss. We're out there kissing each other. I mean, there's blood everywhere. You're sweaty. And it's like, you look at these dudes, man, and you just respect them for doing what they... Because you don't do this by yourself. Yeah. You can't do that by yourself. You don't get to go to the moon by yourself. You need somebody to elevate you. And Gustafsson did, Jones did, Rumble did, Miocic did, Anderson Silva did. All those guys I fought, they elevated me, and they made me better in all facets of mixed martial arts and in life. I appreciate
You got a special bond with those guys.
Every
too,
one of those guys. Yeah, it's like a relationship.
Yeah.
Right? We have a special bond. Like, we're bonded together forever. And
watching you watch yourself and talk through that, I think, is the coolest segment we've done on the show. Yeah. It's very like the detail that you do. It's just awesome.
Yeah, it's good to look back on those things. Yeah, it's good that we have those.
And I'm glad you brought up Michael Chandler, because that's the first thing that came to mind when you talk about your daughter and his son Hap, and he wants that memory. He knows that he's near the end. Yeah. He's going to fight a handful more times, and that's going to be it. Well, and he wants that. He wants that to be his legacy, that to hold on to.
We always say stuff like this, right? Like, and I've always said this, you know, memories, like all these things, like, they fade. But the legacy lasts, right? When I'm gone from this earth, those videos will still exist, right? I will have grandchildren that at some point my kids are going to show their grandchildren. Even when I'm gone, they'll be able to show their grandkids their father, their grandfather standing on top of the world. Like, they'll show them Olympic level matches. They will show them me winning national championships and world championship belts. And for me to be able to leave that, I'm a kid from Lafayette, Louisiana that come from nothing. So it's like, it's tremendous.
So, but I got a question, like a real special question. Like, how does that feeling from that night compare to you winning the belt, that belt last time you were on the show?
I mean, Dean, you know, I love the show. I love the belt here because I love what it does to people. Even Laura, like, she's crying.
Wait.
Like, Laura's crying, right? Like, but like for all
the. He's got me in tears, and then Dean just turns her head around.
But
somebody had to lighten that up around
everything that we do on the show, right? Like, she loves and cares, right? And it's like, she appreciates what we do.
I do.
I love the belt, right? And it's a symbol of what it is. But the 8 gold belts at home that I have, those are drenched in blood, sweat, and tears, cuts, injuries, family time away. Like, those are the ones that mean the most to me.
He's trying to make us all cry. She's already doing it. I'm not going there, but we are going to take you to what you can see on Saturday night. It's the co-main event. Let's take a look.
I'm fighting Tony, one of the best fighters ever in the lightweight division, but tonight's my night. I'm going to take him out.
Fighting Beneil Dariush tonight is going to be one of two things. I'm going to go out there and knock his ass out, or I'm going to finish him by a submission.
He's there's the test. Tony Ferguson has done it.
Wherever Tony goes, I'm better. I could beat him standing. I can beat him on the ground. It doesn't change anything for me.
The key to winning this fight is pressure. Making sure I snap his ass down to the mat. Putting his face right in there and making sure that he understands that it's my mat.
He's got his neck. That's it.
Beneil's in for a whole lot of hurt. I'm going to make sure I touch that chin.
Okay, you guys ready? This game counts.
I'm not crying anymore. We are back on.
This game
You're back here.
is going to help decide who gets the belt. This is the spelling bee game.
A spelling bee?
Come on.
This is what separates the good from the great and the average from below average.
That's the barbecue talking back to me.
Okay, first up, Jamie Pickett, first and last name. For the point, you need to get both right. Jamie Pickett, first and last name, please. Okay, turn him around.
He's already doing it, you guys.
I'm not doing nothing. Well, his name's on the screen. His name's on the screen. Like, what is happening? Like, what is going on?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Senko's the only one that really should get that point because she didn't cheat.
I didn't cheat either. Like,
I didn't cheat.
No, you didn't cheat, but he cheated off you and you
No,
saw
I didn't. I was already done.
Okay, everybody got one there.
right,
It's
let's
one across the board. Number 2, my kickboxing coach, Christos Yagos. First and last name, please. Fighting out of Hawthorne, California.
All right.
Okay, hold on. Wait. We're going to show the name up on the screen, then you guys are going to turn it around. It's all tied at 1. Christos Yagos. Let's reveal the... There it is.
Ah.
Okay, did everybody get it?
I got it wrong.
Okay.
Everybody with me. No H.
Oh,
no
H. You left the H out.
H.
Okay.
No H.
2-2, and then just 1 for the reigning champion. Okay, we're getting a little bit tougher now. Oh, there's
my
DC.
goodness. Here we go with this crap.
Our first loser of the contest. It's just a point. Okay. Cachoeira. Just last name. Just Priscilla's last name. Check something real quick here. Oh, what are you doing?
What?
What was that?
Nothing.
What was that?
Nothing. What are you guys talking
Are you
about?
cheating? Are you
No,
looking
I
at your
wasn't.
phone?
No, man, I had a text with some crazy stuff that happened.
Unbelievable.
There should be like a USADA equivalent to this show.
I totally
when
agree.
you're cheating, you get stripped. And he just looked at your board again, Dean.
All right, let's turn
No,
him.
no,
Hold on, let's reveal on the screen. There's DC had no chance. We can play that loser sound again.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Oh,
You got it?
I got it.
Because you read it.
C-A-C-H-O-E.
I can't even read yours.
I-R-A. Yes, I got it right.
I got it.
Cachoeira. I got it right.
That's not even English. That shouldn't count.
I got it right.
Good job.
All right, I think we're gonna give it to him, but I'm gonna watch the phone here. So
I got it right.
Everybody, all right, everybody got it.
You got to keep an eye on
I
it.
will. I'm watching him now. Okay, so here's the scoring right now. It's still 3-2, DC behind Dean and Laura. All right, number 4, Venata.
Are you?
Unbelievable. Dude, like this is one of the easiest ones we're asking, and DC can't take his eyeballs out. Dean, you got the hide.
I didn't know I had to hide it.
Didn't you have anybody that cheated off you in school?
No.
What, you were doing the cheating like me?
Yes.
See? Okay, well, so you know how it works then. He's cheating off you. All right, what do we have? Let's, Venata, on the screen, please.
Oh, my God. I got it right. I got it right. I wasn't sure if it was 2 T's or 2 N's.
Yeah, you mean Dean got it right and you copied.
I just didn't know if it was 2 T's or 2 N's. Dean he hit his just in time.
It's unbelievable.
Someone call it USADA.
I'm going to hide it really good.
Right. Okay, here we go. Shevchenko.
This Dean is smarter than I thought.
I mean, this one you're like, oh, that's kind of tough. It's really not. You just got to sound this one out. See, he can't cheat now. Good job, Dean. He's trying to look through your armpit.
He's trying to look through your armpit. He's trying to...
Yo, ass nigga, I got to cheat to win. I mean, that's all I do.
All right, we got it. You either have it now or you don't. Let's pop it up on the screen.
There you go.
Dean
spelled it wrong.
I spelled it wrong. No, I put the C in it. No.
Out of the C.
Dean spelled it wrong.
I should have let you cheat off me.
Dean spelled it wrong, dog. Let's go.
I spelled it right.
Laura spelled it wrong, too.
I got it right.
Got it
Thank
right.
you.
She got it right.
Did
Wait,
DC
stop.
get it right?
I got it right.
He got it right. He got it right.
Okay.
No, you didn't. You added extra C.
No, I didn't. I spelled it right.
Luckily, we're on television. They're filming.
We're gonna have to rewind that.
Guys, run that back. That's crap, man. I'm gonna walk off the set if you guys don't stop cheating. I did not have an extra seat. Shevchenko.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go on to Chukagian while we'll check the tape. Do we have it now?
Look at that.
Oh,
there's another
the C.
Yeah, that is a C.
Unbelievable cheater you are.
Wait, wait.
There's
That's not how you spell her name?
No, there's no C after the S.
Oh, I spelled that wrong.
Okay, Chukagian?
Chukagian.
Wow, I'm terrible. Come on, give me something that I can
Is he talking in his ear right now?
I think he's trying to ask the producers for help.
They helped you last time. They're not going to help you this time.
Are you going to write something down?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, you're done?
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Hold on, wait. Let's put it up on the screen.
Are they spelling it?
Chukagian.
Yeah, of course. Come on, man. I got that right. I did
Sanko
that.
got it right.
Yep.
Dean got it right. And DC got it right. Okay, all right. Okay, next up, number 7. He's in our main event, Oliveira. This is it. This is for the win.
And the belt?
And
is this for the belt?
Yeah, like DC's out, I think. All right, let's throw it up on the screen first. DC is wrong.
Oh, snap.
Laura's right, and Dean is correct. So.
Are Dean and I tied?
Laura Sanko, our
weird.
spelling bee champion.
No! Weird. Listen to the people clap. Do I go get my belt now?
Oh, wow. Look
at
his sad face. Look at his sad face.
Let me hike up my pants
There you
in
go.
honor of this man.
In honor of DC, you might need to pull him up a little higher. There we go. Look at him.
I'll let you hand it to me.
Here, I'll come over and help.
I won't take it off you. I'll let you hand it to me.
Come
it's
over
okay.
And
Don't disgrace the belt like that.
His eyes are starting to water.
He won't even look at you.
He's got a tear.
He won't even look at you.
Listen, a minute ago, I was crying over your amazing career, okay? I was moved to tears over you talking about the legacy that you are leaving your children, and you can't even meet my eye right now. He's about to... I'm just gonna walk back over.
It's an SOS call from the former champ. Hey.
Oh, it's so shiny. So shiny.
Oh no!
I think the belt is where it belongs for the moment. It could change.
Yeah, I mean, she
but for
won
the
fair.
moment-
She won fair and square.
I won fair and square last time too.
Yeah.
I would still have it if they hadn't.
Is there any way to go to a fan vote?
There is not, and we will not be doing that, unfortunately, because the score is the score here. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what the fans say for this particular contest.
Is there another contest?
But we can go back and
Oh.
look at some of the DC cheating here.
Let's see here.
Oh, where's the phone?
Wait.
Hold the phone out. Oh,
my God. Wait,
what are we doing here?
Look
Google.
at that.
Oh
my God.
Where's that realization?
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Peeks over to
That. Did you do that in school?
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let's take a look at what some of the numbers mean from a gambling standpoint going into UFC 262. Here's Fitz and the boys.
Thanks, guys. Brendan Fitzgerald here with Yanni the Greek and Nick Kalikas, the UFC On the Line crew, looking for the sharp take here. Yanni, I'll start with you. Let's start with this main event, right? Big one. Michael Chandler, small underdog here against Charles Oliveira, who's riding that monster win streak. What do you think of the handicap?
It didn't start off that way, and I think the odds maker got it right, and I think the market got it wrong, meaning Chandler opened as high as a minus 150, 155 favorite, and money came in on Oliveira to where he shot up to around that high as a favorite as well. Since then, it's dropped back a little bit, but that's what we saw early on.
Yeah, and I think you got to take advantage of where you can. And if it's a underdog that you're getting that should be favored, you might want to look at that. So I don't think this fight's going to last very long. There's a lot of firepower here. Both of these guys have been waiting to get this shot. It's very important, obviously, for the lightweight strap. So I think this fight does not go the distance. So if you like Oliveira, I would take him inside the distance. If you like the other side in Chandler, I would take him inside the distance. So whichever way you prefer, I think the fight does not go, and that's a way to look at this fight.
Plus money if either gets the finish. Pick your fighter, maybe a little more value there. Sometimes on our show, On the Line, these guys will get ahead of a line, and this Michael Chandler plus money. Got your attention right away several weeks ago. What were your bets that you placed on this in anticipation?
Immediately, like I said, when the money was coming in on Oliveira, I was able to get Chandler at a plus 130 underdog price. That's now down to plus 110. Again, losing about 5% margin there. And I think there's some better plus EV spots elsewhere. But early on, that was the side.
Yeah, what might we look for, Nick? Because you see it in the sports book, right? A lot of action on fight day. So what are you sitting back and looking for in this main event?
I mean, you got to look for the dog money. So if this line flips and becomes Oliveira as the underdog, which could happen, we see some crazy steam on fight days, then you might want to take a stab at Oliveira at the dog price. But if the line continues to climb, then obviously there's going to be more value on Chandler. So all depends on where the sharp action is, where the public action is as well. And that's where you're going to have to base your bet on. I think chasing a dog price, either one of these guys, I mean, if you get a plus number by Chandler's name, if you get a plus number by Oliveira's name, you got to go for it, man. These guys are highly rated finishers. I think there's 44 finishes between both of them. So they get it done. So if you get plus money, there's a good chance your fighter will get it done. I think you got to go for it.
Last time you were getting plus money on Michael Chandler was 2011, 10 years ago when he fought Eddie Alvarez. He's also never lost by submission against, of course, the submission king in Charles Oliveira. Not the only huge lightweight fight on the card, Nick, but Neil Dariush, small favorite against Tony Ferguson. Interesting matchup here.
Yeah, and normally I like to say it's a dog or pass situation, but for me, this might be a favorite or pass situation. I mean, Ferguson's a great fighter, but we haven't seen the best of him as of late. Now, he's fought some really good competition. We got to give him credit, but Dariush is actually on the rise. I've never seen him better. So I think you got to ride the momentum and lay that slight chalk possibly with Dariush.
We got to give some leeway for variance here. Let's not forget, Tony Ferguson was on a 12-fight winning streak. Yes, he's lost 2 fights, but I think this line now gives him some value. Let's not forget, he opened as the favorite. Here's another spot where I think the odds makers got it right and the markets got it wrong.
All right, well, plus money was on Dariush before the line flipped. He's been a favorite in all 6 of his wins as he rides a 6-fight winning streak into this one against Tony Ferguson. Main card opener is a great matchup. Edson Barbosa, Shane Burgos. You know they're going to be firing from the feet. Your thoughts as Shane Burgos, small favorite here, usually gets a lot of respect from the betting public.
Yeah, and there's a lot to like on the Burgos side at only minus 130 or so. As long as you could get him pre that 150 range, there's a ton of value. The analytics support that side. This one should remain standing. The volume will give him a much bigger edge. And I think here, the way this line goes, we haven't seen
Burgos, Barbosa
get it done in that underdog spot.
And I think you got to, like Yanni said, you got to take advantage. It's a striker versus striker matchup. Both these guys are heavy hitters. We know that. But go with the more durable fighter. And almost a pick-up price. I mean, it's slight favorite when you're laying 20, 30, 40, whatever it may be. I think Burgos is actually on the rise again. And even though Barbosa's hung in there, he's put on some really good performances lately, I just don't trust that chin and durability on the other side. Burgos is going to bring it. I think he connects and probably finishes this fight.
Well, whoever wins inside the octagon is to be seen. We know the fans are going to win. These guys, no stranger to a fight of the night bonus. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, fellas. Our last fighter to weigh in on our UFC 262 weigh-in show, Rogerio Bontorin. He, of course, the 3rd fight on the pay-per-view card against Matt Schnell. He will be coming up here momentarily.
And as you say, I mean, interesting
our final
that
athlete to weigh in this morning.
that he's so late to weigh in. He's got to use the box here.
Competing as a bantamweight here tomorrow, Rogerio
fighting up at
Bontorin.
bantamweight, normally a flyweight. So I'm anxious to see, you know, kind of what he looks like physically when we see him out of this curtain here. He's a nasty submission artist, though. That has got to be said.
Contender Series Brazil alum, won his first 2 UFC fights.
It shot up. It actually shot up. Look at it. See, it just shot up. So
yeah, it's not good. Man.
I don't know what he would.
Up a weight class,
If it goes up that fast, it's a problem.
Well, short notice fight replacing Alex Perez on the card.
Just went up way too fast.
Yeah. Let's listen in.
Now it's coming down. Doc's still moving it off to the right. To the left, sorry. Yeah, Bontorin's still going to be overweight here. And he can't have much time left. I don't know the exact time right now. He's still got an hour.
He has 1 hour, yep.
Yeah, this is not.
If the commission allows, he has 1 hour from right now.
I hope this fight doesn't fall apart, though. This is such a good matchup, stylistically.
Why do fighters have to hold their hands up like
137 for Rogerio Bontorin.
137.
Yeah, he's still a pound overweight with an hour to go. I mean, you got to think he's been really cutting some weight too.
Yeah, this is not going to be good for him.
It's going to be tough. But again, he's close, right? So he's only 137, right?
Yeah, but
so
we know that last pound.
Yeah, no, it's hard. But even if he doesn't make the weight, he's not so heavy that you would think that Schnell wouldn't fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
that. That's what the.
You wonder how much of if he took the fight on April 23rd, how much of this camp has he spent just trying to drastically lose weight versus preparing for a very good Matt Schnell?
No, absolutely. But that's the problem, right? Like as a flyweight, we got to question how big is this man?
Yeah.
Especially after some of the weigh-in issues we've been having lately, right? Where people cutting so much weight that they've been having real difficulties even stepping up to the scale.
I mean, but he doesn't look like
He doesn't look that sucked down.
He doesn't look like
down.
he's tried too much. I mean, he's got something to go.
He's got some weight. He can lose the weight. He's gonna have to work though.
Yeah.
Pound. He's gonna have to really work to get this weight off. But he doesn't look like a skeleton, right? Like,
No.
you know, like
If he
Max
looked-
Holloway. When Max Holloway's weighing in at 145, you know Max has nothing left.
Right. He's
out of 145.
dry, bone dry.
Chapped lips.
Well, you talk about work. You guys are going to have some work to do up here. RJ Clifford, our fantastic stage manager, has a fighting background. You may have heard him on Sirius XM Radio. He's going to be our guinea pig here because what we're doing is we're going to show some submissions. The greatest submission artist in UFC history we're going to be seeing on Saturday nights. Stop trying to put him to sleep already, DC. Charles Oliveira. 14 career submissions, 6 different techniques, okay? I'm not going to ask you to do all of them, DC, but I am going to ask you to do our first one on RJ. It's the rear naked choke. And what makes this one different for Oliveira?
Well, for Charles Oliveira, what he does is he attacks his submissions the moment that they present themselves. And when you watch it against Will Brooks, watch here. Let's put the video on the screen, guys. Will Brooks and Charles Oliveira fighting in the clinch here. He lifts him, takes him back in the opposite direction. He forces Will Brooks over to the side that he wants to chase the submission. So Will Brooks then doesn't have many chances. So by taking RJ, and I take him in the clinch position here, I lift him and I take him backside. Most people try to take you off to this side. I would take RJ backside. Once RJ then hits the floor,
remember, no mat here. Take it easy.
My body starts on this side, right? My body's here. So RJ's escape is not going to be into me, right? Unless we just start grappling. Will Brooks is a wrestler. He doesn't want to grapple with Charles Oliveira. His idea immediately is to get to his knees and go to a wrestling stand-up. Charles just follows that action over. He throws the topside hook right here. When Will Brooks stands, Charles immediately starts to attack the neck. And then he just starts to drive and squeeze. Eventually, Will Brooks has to take the tap. Now, I'm not going to jump on RJ's back and him standing up. But again, it's just a matter of Charles Oliveira only giving you one escape route and then just following that route as he takes that, as you go to your knees, knowing your opponent, knowing you got a wrestler in front of you, we all go to our hands and knees to stand up. Charles chases it, throws the topside hook. When your hands hit the mat, your neck's not protected. He jumps on the rear naked choke. So listen, if he does get Chandler down, he will expect that same type of action. He will expect Chandler, the wrestler, to go to a wrestling stand-up. So if there is a submission, you got to think it may be a rear naked choke. Charles Oliveira is the man in terms of grappling, and I am the best at breaking it down. I would hate to be these two, having to follow that. I mean, that was fantastic.
I don't know.
That was fantastic.
Dean looks damn ready, if you ask me.
Can the belt be on the line? Let's just put the belt on the line. Guys, let's put the belt on the line.
This isn't a competition.
Let's do it to the fans. Right now, we got their breakdowns, right?
I know your only hope is a popularity vote.
Fans, let's determine right now whose breakdown gets the title. Let's go. Put the poll up, UFC. UFC, put the poll up.
I'm sorry I don't have 2 million Instagram followers.
He's begging for the
I need to check with RJ because you look a little flushed. It was this heavy squeeze there or what?
I've been
the weight.
Well, I've been watching Joshua Fabia instructionals all week, so I thought I'd be prepared for this, but I wasn't. He's got a grip on him.
Hey, listen. So Dan, make sure you listen because the producers are starting to tell me in my ear that the fans may be involved in voting for the best breakdown.
They know they got to help you.
I'll keep you posted.
Would you like me to hold the belt?
Yeah, because I trust you.
All right,
I like you.
So Laura's up next. I know it's hard for you.
Oh, she's taking off her heels.
A
Wow.
lot shorter now, huh?
Wow.
Yeah. Watch this.
All right, so we saw the rear naked choke. Now it's time to see the guillotine. as Laura will demonstrate, one of Charles Oliveira's great subs coming up here on RJ. Go ahead.
Here's the thing about the guillotine. Typically, as a fighter, you do not want to use your guillotine as a takedown defense. Throw that rule out for Charles Oliveira. His guillotine is so nasty. It's so fast. Even when facing a wrestler the caliber of Kevin Lee, that is exactly what he did. So round 2, Kevin Lee was piecing him up a little bit, controlling him on the ground. Immediately, Charles Oliveira goes out there, throws this kick out, baits Kevin Lee to an inside single, and immediately you see how fast Kevin Lee taps to that guillotine because the guillotine was already in before he hit the ground. So RJ,
and the hair's up too, by the way.
Hair's up. We're doing this. We're doing this. So he throws a body kick, head inside single, but no, inside at first. And what Charles does that's so amazing, before he's even making contact here, he is knifing through and he squares himself off, adjusts it, and then don't drop me, RJ. We ready? We ready for this? We're going. We're going. Before they even hit the ground.
No, Matt.
He's tapping, and he was in half guard. The fact that he finished that guillotine from half guard is even more impressive. Thank you, RJ.
Get up, champ. Good job.
Oh, look at him.
Give you a 7.
He's trying to kiss up just a little bit.
That was beautiful.
I gave, hey, Laura, great. I gave that about a 7.5. Good job. That's a really high score.
I got to say, tighter squeeze. I'm going with Senko.
You're going with Senko, tighter squeeze than the champ?
Yes. This
the
thin arms,
champ?
Yeah,
right there,
yeah.
right across.
It's that shotgun grip. You just.
My musical talents are going to be hurt.
All right.
So
now I'm going to
little armbar?
Yeah, I'm going to show you how he applied this armbar. So like DC said earlier, if he goes to the ground, he's already chasing them submissions. So what doesn't matter where he is, whatever position he's in, he's going to be chasing submissions. So he gets taken down against Darren Elkins here. And he immediately clears the arm. Takes his leg out, clears the arm, and he locks up the triangle here. Now, he keeps him from being able to lift his head up by holding his head down. But Darren Elkins is still trying to get his head up, and he's trying to stand up, so he gives him this leg. So as he gives him this leg, he starts to rotate his hips over to lock up the triangle even more. He's also holding on to this leg. This does two things. It creates the angle that he needs in order to finish the triangle, and it also keeps him from being able to be picked up, because if he's picked up, that could be bad. So now he's in this position. It's a double attack. He's got the triangle, and he's also got the armbar. So now he gives RJ rarely any position to go. So what he does, he knocks him over off balance here, finishes the armbar like this.
Beautiful.
Hey,
Man.
guys,
Very pliable for a guy in his 40s. And look at the outfit, too.
He dressed for the whole competition.
He knew what he was doing.
I'm 46 years old.
Ready.
You dressed for one competition.
Yeah,
So ready.
listen, I'm over 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? I got to do my thing. Yeah.
That was nice, though.
Yeah.
That was nice, D.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I would like to judge the competition in terms of breakdown.
Okay, we're going to break it down.
I think you should be getting the title right now, champ. I got to be honest, champ. I think you won. I'm just trying to say I think you won, champ.
I mean, in all fairness, I had a more difficult challenge.
That was it.
Yeah.
I mean, a guillotine. A guillotine.
Yeah.
I didn't get to pick.
Here's
I
the reality.
You did good.
can demonstrate
You did
a
really
triangle
good.
to an armbar, sir.
That's what I'm talking about, Lars.
bring it in.
That's
Here's the
my girl
reality
right
of the
there.
situation. DC likes to judge everything. He likes to take everything over. He likes to be the loudest voice in the room.
Yeah, I do.
But this is for the belt. We actually could maintain the belt, keep the belt, or we could have a new or a still. RJ Clifford is going to be the judge. Did he just escape? RJ, get back over here.
Come on, RJ.
Put your mic back on. You can just hold it. You can just hold it. Come back up here.
This man has a fight career. You know that, right? This man has a fight career.
RJ, did you take your mic off or you have a mic
I took my mic off. Can we hear me?
Yeah, get
Good
right
mic,
next to
we're good?
DC. All right.
DC.
He's the judge. Okay.
I remember watching. DC, I got this.
He's good.
To think that after all these years, I finally got to roll around between the legs of Dean Thomas. I can't tell you what a thrill it's been. That breakdown was fantastic. It was amazing.
Oh, whoa.
My co-host on SiriusXM.
I just knew it. From a young age, we knew Dean Thomas was very smart. I mean, we recognize you're smart, your ability as a very young man, and we hone that. We worked so hard, Dean. We did it.
I'm sorry, pal.
I got the belt. I'm super proud of you. Why have you never congratulating me like that. Good job.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good job.
I'm sorry, champ. I don't mean for it to be. It was hard. I know it's hard to lose.
It is. You would know. You would know. You're
I've
about
lost
to
to
find out
you.
again.
But listen, I was honored to lose to you.
So,
it was an honor.
As the champ, I will have something to say here. Now we know that, like after this, I'm going to be riding some bull, messing with some bulls. Yep. But I heard that you used to do a little bull riding back in the day, a little while ago. Yes. So we have footage. We have the footage here of you doing some bull riding. Yeah, look at him. 15 years. Look at young Dan Helly here. Look at him. Oh my goodness.
Look how big those jeans are. This is from like 2004.
Uh-oh.
Ellie.
This was a rodeo coming to town in Orlando. They talked me into getting on a bull. Look how long I lasted.
Oh, wow.
He lasted 1 second.
That's like, like Luke Perry in 8 seconds.
I couldn't even make it. 1.8 seconds. That's what I was.
Hey,
look at him.
You're a terrible athlete.
That's not true.
You're a terrible athlete. I mean, that is insane. I could ride a bull longer than that.
No, you could not.
I would do it, too. I would do it to prove just that we're better than you.
There is no chance you would ride
do that. We can ride that longer than the second and a half. Both
I would give Senko.
Hey, we're in Texas.
We're
in Texas.
Watch his head hit, though.
He's not graceful. He is not graceful. He's not graceful.
He does not know how to break
graceful.
No.
He is not graceful.
He's never seen a break ball in his life.
That was a mild concussion. I had a huge bruise the size of a basketball on my butt. But here's the good news. When you talk about athleticism, I'm going to be playing golf with DC later today, and maybe we'll show those videos next time, because that swing is like Charles Barkley. Actually, it makes Charles Barkley look like Tiger Woods. Okay?
Really?
Talk about
really,
athletes.
Hellcat?
Talk about
really,
athletes.
Hellcat? Okay.
All right. So we have a new champ, and DC's taking it out on me. That's okay, but let's take a look at the main event right now.
Quero cinturão mais do que eu quis qualquer outra coisa na minha vida. São anos de dedicação, anos esperando, e chegou o meu momento.
Oliveira doesn't wrap him up. He knocks him out.
I believe that I am Charles Oliveira's toughest test, most athletic, most powerful, most tenacious man that he's ever stepped into the octagon with, and I'm going to prove that tonight.
Oh! Big knockdown for Michael Chandler!
Holy smoke!
O Chandler, como eu falei, ele é um cara duríssimo, mas eu sou um lutador de MMA, eu sou um cara completo, não ficar que eu tô no chão. Então, na mistura das artes, eu sou melhor do que ele.
There is the champ, Charles Oliveira!
This fight has fireworks written all over it. Charles Oliveira and myself are both consummate finishers inside that octagon. All I have to do is go out there and do the exact same thing I've done over the last 28 fights. Go out there, get in his face, impose my will, get my hand raised by any means necessary.
So, we have a new game that we are going to play, and luckily it is one of which I am an expert. It is called Cornhole. Before we begin, we're going to have Mike from Pinkerton's come up, and he's going to deliver a couple of cocktails, because cornhole is one of the great drinking games of all time.
Like actual cocktails?
Yeah, I believe a real cocktail. It's on YouTube. Like, we can do shots if we want, like, whatever. So here's the thing, though, Dean. The good news is that because you are the reigning champ, you get to pick the teams for cornhole. So you have the first pick of anybody up here to be your teammate.
Well, I know that you play. Yep. So normally I would pick you as my teammate.
Okay.
But then that would put them two together, and that's not going to work. So I'm going to pick Laura Senko to be on my team. She's the former champ, you know what I'm saying? So I want her on my team.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So it's going to be me and DC?
Yeah.
Let's do this, baby. We got this. Let's go, Hell. Let's go, Hellcat.
All right. So
Hey,
you guys know how this works, right?
How can you be built for cornhole?
So DC, you're over there.
Okay.
Because you're thrown here. Dean, you we'll come me. So essentially, we'll pull the covers off the cornhole here. All right.
Oh, here we go.
And we have the beanbags. All right, we're waiting on the beanbags.
We should start on this side because Laura. First.
Hey, Mike's over there getting the cocktails ready right now. Mike, can you kind of walk us through what you're preparing there, my friend?
You got it, man. So this is going to be our ranch water. It's going to be a little mineral water, tequila, fresh squeezed lime juice, and our candied jalapenos, little sweet.
Oh my God.
Perfect for any time of the day.
Mike, can you bring me two?
You got it, man.
Thanks, brother.
Tequila and I broke up when I was 19.
I can't really drink.
I
don't drink, so I don't know what you guys are going to do.
Oh, is that right?
Are we starting or?
Yeah, I think he's taking his time because these are going to be outstanding. So we're playing to 11.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Dean, I'm going to do my best.
So
that's okay. Just do your best.
All right.
3 in the hole,
All right.
1 on the board.
All right.
Dean still hasn't put his shoes on, man.
Oh, let me put my shoes on.
Dean still hasn't put his shoes on.
I'm already sorry.
Oh, these are slippery boards. Okay. Go get it, DC.
Let's go, Helly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dang it.
She needs a little more air underneath that.
Yeah?
DC just hit it in the forehead right there. Hey,
That great
champ, you do have to keep your foot behind the line. Like that's
That
part of the
I'm behind the line.
That hippo-like
I'm behind
step
the
that you
line.
took.
Go ahead, Laura. Go ahead, Laura.
All right, so right now it's 2 for the good guys.
Yeah, we're winning.
I was just imitating
If
you.
I hit one of my other ones into the hole,
It counts. Yeah, slide that sucker in. All right, so we have 3. So it's 3-0. Good guys.
So sorry, Dean.
Don't worry about it.
I feel like you got us, though.
So these are not regulation boards, not regulation distance. So we're gonna do the best. We're gonna do the best we can here. There's one. Dean, you're up.
You got this, brother.
Cornhole. Now, if you guys know, they do air cornhole on ESPN.
Let's go, baby.
And there's a lot of different techniques. Sometimes you can kind of step into it.
What's up, brother?
Thank you, my man. I appreciate that.
Oh,
There you
there's
go,
a
champ.
3-bagger.
Oh, that's what Dean needed right there.
Got it, guys.
Kobe for 3.
Guys,
Oh, now he's shooting.
Oh, he done quit.
Now he's giving up.
There you go, man. A little motivation.
How much?
Oh, thank you. So this is ranch water.
Ranch water, yeah. It's originally a West Texas thing. Everybody puts a
Dean,
little
I know you
spin
don't
on it.
drink.
Ours
So
is-
let me just take
ours, we
this
put that
full
candy
forward.
jalapeno
As a friend and teammate, I'm not going to let you do this.
I appreciate that.
I'd be a bad friend if I didn't do this.
I feel like RJ's going to hammer that thing
Hey,
down.
so there was one on the board for red. We had 3 in, 3 on, so that's 5 points for us. Oh, look at this.
There goes
That's how you do it.
Hey, so what's the score
So
here?
it's 8-0, so we
Oh.
can close them out right here, DC.
You want to go, Laura? Or should I just finish you off?
I'm drinking.
DC, you have to go first since we're up.
Okay.
This is actually really good. How close are
Look
you
at
now?
look at this step, DC.
Which line are you honoring?
No.
Wait, stop.
Laura has to go.
Oh, Laura has to go. Okay,
Yeah.
Can I go from where he went from?
Sure.
What do you mean from where he went from?
Oh, gosh.
Wow, look at her cheating.
Wow.
Oh, she still missed.
Okay. All right, Senko, if you want to play from the ladies' tees, that's fine.
Laura,
Did you really just
Laura's
say
playing
that?
behind the line.
Yeah, it's like golf.
Wow.
Don't cheat, Laura.
Wow. Behind
We were
the
trying.
box? Oh.
So the front of the box is your line.
All right, I get it.
Because
I'm so bad.
DC was cheating, we were allowing Senko a little more leeway.
Hey, Haley, can I finish it from back here?
Oh, you want
Can I finish it off from 3
You want to shoot from the logo?
Can I finish it off from the logo?
Go.
Hey, wait up. Laura, please let me shoot.
This reminds me of golf.
Hold on.
Oh, no.
It didn't get on. Go ahead, Laura. I'm going to get the next one. I got it.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Haley, you know what time it is?
Let's go. Game time!
Dame time! Oh, I thought it was Dame time.
So it is.
I thought it was Dame time.
It
We
is.
need one.
It's not.
It is.
It's totally not.
It is 10.
I thought it was Dame time. That's it. It's y'all turn.
All right.
Finish them off.
It's 10-0. It's 10-0, baby. Cornhole. Let's finish him, DC.
Drink my feelings.
Yeah, you can. Hey, cheers.
Thank you.
That belt. So, Haley, are you going to let me take the belt or are you going to take the belt?
DC, there's not many moments in my life athletically where I can come out on top. So I'd prefer to win it here. Is that okay?
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
Do I get the belt, though?
Why don't I get the belt? I haven't had the belt yet. He's cheating.
If you don't make
against his own teammates.
If you don't make the last one, if you don't make the last
yeah! Even through the leg kick. You can't cheat.
How bad of a teammate are you?
He's the worst. He's the most selfish athlete on the stage.
You literally just tried to keep your own team from
Champs!
winning.
Yeah! Where are you going? Give me my moment in the sun.
I can't believe I did it.
Gosh.
I can't believe I did it again.
Bring it.
I can't believe we got it back.
Let's wear it together. Let's wear it together.
got it back.
Together.
Thank you. Thank you
I'll
for
hold it
thinking
with
that I would be
Simply the best.
I thought you. It's okay. Listen.
This is fun. This is fun.
Winning isn't everything.
We knew cornhole
Cheers.
would separate the greats from the has-beens, and that's exactly what happened here at the UFC 262 weigh-in show today. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for making one in. Actually, you didn't make one in. Thanks for making
I
one
made 4 points.
Okay, good job. That was a good job. I made the rest.
Really?
Yeah, so I keep the belt. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I feel like you just stuck a knife in my back. all right. I got you lined up, baby.
Oh,
Let's
that
do this
is going to
Hellcat.
do it for Dean Thomas, Laura Senko. This man, Daniel Cormier. I'm Dan Helly. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Enjoy the fights on Saturday. Yes!